him. Look at him. Uncle Cyrus is under doctor's orders not to get excited. Just look at him.
Come on, boot him! Boot him, come on! Give him his hand!
Well, he's excited.
Well, can't you stop him?
What do you suggest?
Well, I don't know. Do something. Talk to him.
Well, he's not a child, Sally.
Yes, he is.
Beat him up!
He's just a very old, wrinkled child.
Come on, come on! What's the matter with him? Come on, let him loose, let him loose! Hurry up with him, come on! Come on, come on, come on! Well, don't just stand there. Raquel Welch can get away with it, but you've got to say something. How is he?
He's fine.
Is it any wonder I have a heart condition?
Uncle Cyrus.
What was his time?
48-2.
No, that wasn't so hard, was it? You could have told me. After all, I'm the one that has to pay your astronomical salary.
Well, you could have, but you didn't ask. You asked how he was.
Yeah,
I told you. He's fine.
he'll win the Golden Gate Stakes on Friday? Well, now that's more like it.
Unless some other horse beats him.
You see what I'm up against, Mac? Now I'll get some straight answers. How's Buying-O's, Willie?
Our horse is moving just great, Mr. McPhee. Come Friday, those other nags will be choking in his dust.
Cool him off for half an hour. We don't want him catching cold.
Just get him rubbed down. I'm taking him back to the ranch with me.
With the race, just 2 days off?
2 days is 2 days.
You mean 2 days is $20, don't you? Listen, I'll spring for it.
You think I'm going to be indebted to you for a lousy $20? Besides, it's closer to 50. Well?
Forget it.
That's what I thought. Talk is cheap.
If it weren't, you'd be a mute.
Don't you think all that traveling is bad for Buying-O's? It can't be good for him, can it?
How bad can it be? I do it all the time. And Buying-O's is a lot younger than I am.
The Grand Canyon's a lot younger than you are.
Yeah, well, I heard that. And it's not true, but it's thanks to you that I'm catching up.
Don't you really think it would be better for Buying-O's to stay right here at the stables?
Oh, sure it would. For the stable.
It's only for a couple of days.
Yeah, but a couple of days here and a couple of days there, it all adds up. Too much up.
Uncle Cyrus, you can afford it.
Oh, now, Sally, look. I'm not even your real uncle. But let me talk to you like a Dutch uncle. You know, a man can go broke, spending money on what people think he can afford. Now, just remember that.
Yes, sir.
Pardon me a minute.
Those two are on the outs again.
Aren't they always?
I think it's shameful the way those brothers behave. They're all a family they got. I know if I had a brother, I'd be more than a sister to him. I'd be a friend.
You can
I mean-
say that.
What do you mean?
You don't have a brother.
Uncle Cyrus makes me so angry the way he won't spend a penny on himself. Sometimes I just don't understand it at all.
What's not to understand? Here's how you spell Cyrus. C-H-E-A-P.
No, he's not. Really, he's not.
There's nothing terrible about it. This is a democracy. A man can spend his money any way he likes. Cyrus likes to spend his money by not spending it.
Uncle Cyrus!
You all right?
Here.
Are you okay?
Well, I seem to be. Thanks to Willie here.
What happened?
Something spooked that horse.
Big Ben was born spooked. That's why his stall's always supposed to be kept latched.
Are you okay, sir?
Well, I'm still alive, no thanks to you.
I don't know how he got out. The stall was latched.
I guess he opened the door himself.
Somebody did.
I tell you, I closed it myself right after his workout. I swear I did.
Well, the important thing is that you're okay. You are okay, aren't you?
Oh, I just got the wind knocked out of me, that's all.
That's no easy trick. We better get you to a doctor.
I don't have to pay that kind of money to have someone tell me what I already know.
Uncle Cyrus, your heart, the shock.
Well, it's nothing compared to the shock of getting a doctor's bill. That my heart couldn't take.
Uncle Cyrus.
I'll take wild horses any day. Those money-crazy quacks, they pull out a sliver and simultaneously amputate your wallet. No, thank you. Oh.
What's wrong with your leg?
Oh, now, come on, Sally. I'm 70. I'm 69 years old. This is how old people walk.
You weren't limping 10 minutes ago.
I was younger then.
You should have it x-rayed.
Have you any idea what they're charging for x-rays nowadays? Okay, Mac. You're right.
Of course I'm right. But you still won't have it x-rayed.
Oh, you're right again.
That's quite a bad limp you got there, Cyrus. I hope they don't have to shoot you.
Uncle Cyrus, at least promise me that you won't be at the track on Friday. Coming on top of this, I don't even want to think of what the excitement of the Gold Cup race could do to you.
You expect me not to watch By-a-Nose win the biggest race in his career? That kind of advice would put me into an early grave.
I'm putting my foot down, Uncle Cyrus. If you insist on risking your life so foolishly, then I'm going to wash my hands of you.
Oh, now, but Sally, you gotta be fair.
No buts about it. Maybe your heart can take it, but mine can't.
You got yourself a very special filly there, Mac. I hope you know that.
Oh, I guess I do.
But I don't know what she sees in you.
We gotta go, Sally. Take care of yourself, Cyrus. Remember, you're an endangered species.
What do you mean?
Well, as far as I know, you might well be the last of the really cheap Scotsmen.
Take care of yourself, Uncle Cyrus.
All right, all right.
You better, or else. See you later.
Mr. McMillan?
What is it?
I just wanted you to know that I did put the latch on Big Ben's stall. I swear on my mother's grave, somebody else must have taken that latch off.
Any idea who?
No, I just know it wasn't me.
You could have forgotten.
Commissioner, I don't make that kind of mistake.
Well, if you don't make that kind of mistake, somebody did it on purpose.
It don't make no sense. I could lose my job, but who'd want my job?
Good question.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. You're invited to attend the free morning workouts held each morning at the north end of the grandstand from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. Morning workouts.
Oh, Commissioner, Mrs. McMillan.
Don't tell me Uncle
Hello.
Cyrus actually took my advice.
Well, he didn't have much choice in the matter.
How's that?
Well, when Willie pulled him away from Big Ben, why, Mr. McPhee must have twisted his ankle. It all swelled up like a pregnant mare these past couple of days.
Did you have it x-rayed?
You know, Mr. McPhee, he wouldn't pay a doctor to make a house call if he could find one. Now, the way I figure it, he'll wait for the veterinarian to make his routine call on By-a-Nose here, and when he's out there, he'll finagle some free medical attention for
Well,
himself.
I'll call him after the race and see how he's doing.
Say, I got a couple of bucks that's burning a hole in my pocket. What do you guys suggest I do with it?
You stick it right there, Mr. McMillan, and just watch it multiply.
You mean it's a sure thing?
About as sure as you can get, keeping it kosher.
Well, in that case, I think we ought to bet a bundle.
That's a good idea, Sally, except I think they deal only in cash.
Well, I've got $3.17. That means I can only make a $2 bet unless you round it out for me.
Oh, I think I might have 83 cents on me.
You're supposed to round it out to 20 bucks.
Good luck, you guys.
Right.
We'll meet you in the winner's circle.
Meet us.
Yes, Mr. McPhee has arranged for you and Mrs. McMillan to represent him. If By-a-Nose wins,
If By-a-Nose wins,
yes.
he's gonna win, right, Willie?
Right.
See you later.
In the winner's circle.
Right.
I'm parched. Is there time for me to get a drink of water?
Yeah, sure, but hurry up.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The horses are now on the track for the feature race of the afternoon, the distance 1 mile and 1/16.
Sally. The whiplash is bad enough, but I draw the line at
I'm sorry,
strangulation.
Mac. If you'd lent me the $16.83, I would have won enough to buy that fabulous dress I was telling you about.
What happened to the fabulous dress you bought last week?
That's the one.
Oh.
I took it back. It was too expensive.
The horses are at the starting gate for the feature race of the day.
The first rule is that you never bet on borrowed money,
Not even on a 100% sure thing.
especially on a 100% sure thing.
The flag is up. There they go. Dragaway is going to the front. Judy's Baby is second. Super Summit is third. Fast Black is fourth. Bionos is fifth, followed by Lark's Baby. Around the clubhouse turn. It's Judy's Baby going to the front by half length. Horses Dragaway is second by 1 length. Super Summit is third. Fast Black is fourth. Lark's Baby is fifth, followed by Speedy Ted, Rick's Bay, and Dale's Top. Turning into the backstretch, it's Shagaway in front by 1 length. Judy's Baby is second by a length. Super Summit is third, and by a nose, moving up fast on the inside is fourth. Speedy Ted is fifth, followed by Debbie's Wonder and Rick's Bay. They're at the half-mile post. It's Judy's Baby in front. Super Summit is second. Bionos still moving up on the inside is third. Lark's Baby is fourth, followed by Speedy Ted and Debbie's Wonder. They're turning into the stretch. It's Judy's Baby, Super Summit, and Bionos on the inside. Lark's Baby is fourth, Speedy Ted and Debbie's Wonder. It's a driving finish. It's Super Summit and Bionos moving up on the inside of Judy's Baby. It's Super Summit and Bionos and Lark's Baby. A three-horse driving finish. It's going to be very close to the win as they come down to the finish. It's Bionos. Super Summit is second and Judy's Baby is third. And Bionos
Not as
is
excited as you're going to be in a minute.
In the winner's circle.
No, when you go to collect your winnings.
I've got it. My ticket. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, Sally, I'll split my winnings with you.
That's sweet of you, but you don't have to.
Well, I think it's only fair. I mean, I don't think Bionos could have won without you. You rode a wonderful
Ladies and
race.
gentlemen, representing Mr. Cyrus McPhee of the Tam O'Shanter Stables today are Mr. and Mrs. Stuart McMillan.
Mrs. McMillan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Willie.
Thanks.
Hey, congratulations to the both of you.
You're right. I couldn't have done it without...
Enright, I want you to follow him to the hospital, find out what happened.
Right, Commissioner.
Mac? What is it? Heart attack?
I don't know, until they run the tests.
Shouldn't we call Uncle Cyrus and tell him that Bionos won?
Yeah, just tell him the good news, Sally. Don't tell him about Willie.
Well, why don't you use my office? It's just down the hall. I have to meet with the stewards.
Thank you.
It's disconnected.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't.
Maybe you dialed incorrectly.
I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Mac, it is disconnected.
You sure you dialed the right number?
I'm positive. 555-9372.
Let's look in here.
I think.
It's not here. Try information.
All right.
Having a problem?
Sally can't remember your brother's telephone number.
Oh, it's been quite a while since I called him, but I think it's 555-9372.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said.
It's disconnected. Why would Cyrus do a thing like that?
The rate's gone up lately?
He's out there all by himself. Anything could happen to him.
That'll be the day.
Take it you and your brother don't get along too well.
Oh, you know how it is, Mac. Cyrus doesn't approve of me. He thinks I'm a libertine. But then he'd think anybody who drinks champagne when water's free a foolish spendthrift. Two different brothers, two different philosophies. I say live and let live. If you can call what Cyrus does living.
Mac, I'm really worried.
Well, let's drive out and see.
Okay.
See you, Angus.
Ciao.
Mac, I have this terrible premonition.
I'm sure there's some logical explanation for it. Maybe Angus is right. Maybe Uncle Cyrus decided it was too expensive to have a phone.
Everybody needs a phone.
Indians didn't. Maybe Uncle Cyrus decided to have a crack at smoke signals. We're almost there.
Cyrus. Mac!
Is he?
He's alive.
Better get him to the hospital. You okay, Sally?
I guess so. How much further is it, Mac?
Well, a few more miles. How is he?
I don't know. He's such a dear old man. You know, I can remember when I was a child, we used to spend our summer vacations on a ranch adjoining his. And I used to hear these dreadful stories about Mr. McPhee. He was my boogeyman. Till one day, he caught me climbing in his apple tree, and I thought I'd had it for sure. But instead, what's he do? He helps me down, he even packs a bag of apples for me. But he made me promise not to say how I got the apples. I think he liked everybody to think he was this wicked old monster. You old phony. When I first started to call him Uncle Cyrus, oh, he acted like he was very annoyed. I was only 7 years old, but I knew better. My first male conquest.
And all this time, I thought I was. Has he always been such a cheapskate?
Mac, he's a generous man.
Is Cyrus McPhee back there with you?
Mac, that's just a role that he plays. Like when he was playing the wicked ogre who owned the apple tree.
Come on, you've seen that house of his.
You've seen his stables.
What do you mean?
It means that Cyrus won't spend money on himself. But he loves bio-nos. That's why there isn't a horse anywhere that lives as well. And what about what he gave us for our wedding gift? That didn't come from the 5 and dime store. And he loves Willie Marshak. You know, Cyrus won't pay for a doctor to make a house call for himself. But I guarantee you that no matter what's wrong with Willie, he won't have to worry about paying for a hospital bill.
Who would have ever guessed that Cyrus McPhee is actually Santa Claus?
Well, I once knew a 7-year-old girl who knew it for a fact.
That's a handy little thing. Let me see that. You know, Mr. McPhee has one almost exactly like that.
It's his. He was holding it when we found him. He must have been listening to the race on it.
That means he must have heard about Willie's collapse.
On top of the excitement of Bionosa's victory. You know, Sal, this radio's expensive.
Yeah.
$75. No, too. It isn't the kind of thing that Cyrus would rush out and buy. Did you had a birthday lately?
No.
Who do you borrow it from?
He never borrows anything.
Well, he never lent anything either. Maybe it's a gift from a secret admirer.
A lady.
Wrong brother.
Doctor, how is he?
Sometimes we get lucky. It's a mild attack.
Thank goodness. Can we see him?
Oh, he's resting now.
You sure he's going to be okay?
He'll be fine. But I think you could stand a little rest.
Well, we've been so worried.
I knew there was no cause for alarm. Until my brother has a guarantee in writing from the good Lord himself that he can take it with him, he's not going.
When do you think we'll be able to visit him?
Call me tomorrow morning. Maybe you'll be able to help us convince Mr. McPhee to let us take care of him for a few days. I know how he feels about doctors.
Oh, don't take it personally, Doc. It's just that the thought of hospital bills makes his wallet break out in hives.
I wonder how Willie is. Whenever you want to find the news, you can't find it.
McMillan. Yeah, Enright. It's your favorite news commentator. What? Uh-huh. Okay, stand by. I'll get back to you.
What's going on?
Somebody tried to poison Willie Marshak.
Poisoned?
He'll be all right. They pumped his stomach.
Why would anybody want to do that? I said, why would anybody want to do that?
I think somebody is trying to kill your Uncle Cyrus.
By poisoning Willie?
Yeah, it's no secret that Cyrus has a bad heart. First, a horse almost runs him down, then his bad ankle prevents him from seeing the Gold Cup race, then somebody very kindly sends him a radio so he'll have to listen to the race. That radio may be evidence, Sally. Then on top of all that, they poison his jockey for good measure.
But if all that you're saying is true, why? Why don't they just kill him and get it over with? Why do they torture him like that? Who could be so cruel?
Somebody who doesn't want to be accused of murder, I think.
But it is murder.
An old man dies of a heart attack. You don't go and arrest somebody for sending him a radio.
It's the perfect murder, isn't it, Mac?
If Willie died, it wouldn't be.
You're right. But why would they risk it and murder Willie?
Because he figured he wouldn't be connected with it. Poisoning Willie is only one means to his end.
It's like we're moving through a nightmare.
Yeah, but whose? Operator, get me Sergeant Enright. Enright, I want a 24-hour watch on Cyrus McPhee. No phone calls, no newspapers, and no visitors. Anybody shows up, I want to know about it. If McPhee asks any questions, tell him it's doctor's orders. Right.
Who, Mac?
Who what? Well, who what?
We think someone may be trying to kill Cyrus McPhee.
Ah, why? As Police Inspector Gerard always says, first you have to know why. Once you have the motive, you know everything.
Inspector Gerard?
You know Inspector Gerard. He's the character from all those mystery books that Mildred's always reading.
Yes, as the inspector pointed out in the Rooster Crowed Murder.
I thought it was the Rooster Cried Wolf.
No, that was a sequel. The inspector says that people have only got 3 reasons for committing cold-blooded homicide. Revenge, greed, and jealous passion.
Is that what he says?
Not counting your hopped-up thrill killers, of course. So, What you have to do is find out why someone would want Mr. McPhee dead. And then you have your who.
Let's find the why.
Does the old man have a will? I mean, who gets the goodies? That's some place to start.
Cyrus always refused to make out a will.
There's another place to start.
Where?
With the people that knew Cyrus wouldn't be at the track today. One of them had to send him the radio. Who heard you lay the law down on him the other day?
Well, Sparks was there.
And Marshak.
Oh, Willie Marshak, the tall jockey? Well, I mean, he's sort of tall for a jockey.
Mac, Willie was poisoned. Besides, he and Uncle Cyrus are like father and son.
Sons have killed fathers before.
That's true. The son was the one in Paris bloodbath. He was in love with his stepmother.
Oh, good.
No, it was quite bad.
Who else was at the track on Wednesday?
That stable boy must have been there.
Oh, yeah, Price. And Angus.
Angus and Cyrus are brothers.
So were Cain and Abel.
And then there was that other jockey,
Mendoza.
Mendoza. He was standing next to Angus.
Where do we start?
I've been trying to find out who poisoned Willie Marshak.
Cheers.
Anything turn up about the radio?
Nothing, sir. But we checked McPhee's house and we found the package it came in. Whoever sent it must have wrapped it himself. That radio could have come from any of 500 local stores.
It was probably bought on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning. Put a half a dozen men on it.
You want us to check 500 local stores?
Maybe we'll get lucky. You have pictures of all the suspects, haven't you? See if the stores can identify any of them. Anything on Marshak?
Well, he claims he never eats before a race.
Doesn't he drink anything either?
He claims he only drank water from a tap at home and then from a drinking fountain at the track.
Well, you don't get poisoned by drinking water from a faucet.
Water pollution is bad, but it hasn't come to that.
Mrs. Marshak?
Yes?
I'm Commissioner McMillan. This is Sergeant Enright. We were wondering if we could talk to your husband.
Well, he's resting right now, but I guess it'll be okay. Come on in.
Thank you. Have a fall?
Doesn't it figure?
I beg your pardon?
Life. It's just one big good news, bad news joke. You know, good news, bad. Well, you see, the good news is that your husband goes out and buys you a brand new powder blue new sedan. And the bad news is that you slip in the tub, break your arm, and won't be able to drive it for 2 months. Right? I'll be right back. Willie, what are you doing up?
I had to go to the bathroom.
Commissioner McMillan and Sergeant
Enright
would like to talk to you.
Commissioner.
How you feeling, Willie?
Well, under the circumstances, I gotta feel great. I'm still alive.
Willie, I don't think you should be up. Why don't we go?
No. I feel fine, dear brother. Come on, sit down.
Thank you.
Here.
Willie,
Yeah.
do you have any idea who poisoned you?
Not one, Commissioner. Maybe somebody dropped a bundle betting on me or against me. Other than that, your guess has got to be as good as mine. Better, maybe, because I don't even have a hunch about it.
Any idea how you were poisoned?
Thanks, dear. That's like I told Sergeant,
Enright?
at the hospital. I never eat on the morning of a race.
But you do drink.
Oh, sure. I had a glass of water at home. Then I had some water at the track.
From a drinking fountain? Excuse me, I was asking if it was from a drinking fountain.
From my thermos.
You never told me about any thermos.
I filled it myself.
With water?
Sure, with water. It's a habit, I guess, ever since I raced in Mexico. You know about the water there. I was out of action 9 days my first season, thanks to Montezuma's revenge. And after that, I started being a little more careful about what I drank. Anyway, once I recovered, I had a pretty good season, and I guess the thermos sort of became a superstition with me. You know, like a lucky rabbit's foot.
Until yesterday.
Eh.
Who has access to your thermos?
No one, me and Darlene.
We exchanged gifts. Willie gave me a new car, and I gave him poison.
Oh, knock it off, Darlene. No one's accusing you.
Well, then why don't you tell them that you keep your thermos in your locker and that he never bothers to lock his locker? Hmm? Anyone could have slipped you that poison. You know that. Why don't you tell them that instead of only me and Darlene?
That true, Willie?
I suppose.
Is your thermos in your locker now?
I guess so, but it just doesn't figure. I don't have any enemies.
One is all it takes.
Oh, cut it out, Sally. You make me feel like an invalid.
I'm just trying to make you comfortable.
Well, it's just having the opposite effect on me. When you keep fiddling with my pillows, you make me feel that I'm not long for this world. I swear that between you and those nurses, my chances of ever reaching the age of 40 are growing dimmer by the minute.
Oh, come on. You like all this feminine attention.
Don't make me laugh.
You rascal. I see you eyeing all those nurses.
Let me tell you, for what they're costing me, I'd need 4,000 eyes to get my money's worth. Believe me, I used to pay 50 cents for a lot more than I'm getting from those nurses.
Uncle Cyrus, I don't believe my ears.
Okay, so it was 75 cents. It was still a bargain.
Hi.
I don't.
How are you feeling?
Oh, at these prices, Mac, how do you think I'm feeling?
You up to a couple of questions?
Yeah.
Your transistor radio, Cyrus. Was that a gift?
Yeah.
Who sent it to you?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Didn't you get a card?
No.
Okay. Why did you have your phone disconnected?
Why? Because they make you pay for it every month, even if you don't use it. That's why.
Uncle Cyrus, it only costs you a couple of dollars a month.
It adds up.
Why did you have your phone disconnected?
I already told you, Mac. Weren't you listening?
I heard you. I just don't believe you.
She treats me like an invalid, and now you're calling me a liar.
You've had that phone a very long time, and somehow every month you've managed to scrape together just enough money to pay the bill. Now, all of a sudden, you decide to have the phone disconnected, and I want to know why.
Okay. I took it out to get rid of a nuisance.
What sort of a nuisance?
Oh, some guy kept calling up and saying things.
You've been getting obscene phone calls?
Oh, they were obscene, all right. He kept predicting terrible things were going to happen to Bio-Nose.
Did you recognize the voice?
Oh, some perverted crank.
You're certain it was a man?
Certain as a... Look, that old I'm not.
All right, no more questions.
Cyrus, I'll see you in the morning. Take care.
Look, you take it easy here.
Yeah. At my age, Mac, I'll take it any way I can get it.
Strychnine. If Marshak had been any thirstier, he'd never be thirsty again.
Commissioner,
Mrs. Marshak?
I have to tell you something, and I didn't want Willie to overhear me on the phone, so I grabbed a cab.
Have a seat.
No, I haven't got time. I told Willie I was just running out to the supermarket.
What is it?
Yesterday, when Willie went to get his thermos, he found Abel Mendoza hanging around his locker.
Well, why didn't he tell us?
Well, I don't know, jockeys. They're all loony as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he practically accused me, his own wife, of trying to poison him. But heaven forbid he should cast suspicion on a fellow jockey.
Well, thank you for telling us.
Okay, I got a dash. His meter's running.
So is mine.
Commissioner, I think we should go and have a talk with Abel Mendoza.
Oh, he's aboard Miss Jill in the 5th race. My interest in the equestrian sport's purely academic. But, if you should find yourselves in the vicinity of the $2 window, would you mind putting that on Miss Jill to win? I like the odds.
Miss Jill to win.
Right. Oh, I almost forgot.
What?
While you're at the track, you should talk to that trainer, Howard Sparks.
Why?
Is that where you get your tips?
Oh, they were his fingerprints on the thermos.
Morning, Sparks.
Huh? Oh, hello, Commissioner. Any word on Willie?
He's okay.
He's already home.
I wonder if that kid will ever ride again.
No reason for him not to.
Well, you know that heart attack.
He didn't have a heart attack. He was poisoned.
No fooling?
No fooling.
Now, who'd want to go and do a thing like that to Willie?
Do you know anybody who might have a grudge against him?
Not that I know of. Of course, every man has his secrets, and I figured Willie has his, but everybody seemed to like him as far as I know.
What about you, Sparks?
Yeah, well, like I was just saying. What are you hinting at, Commissioner?
The poison was found in Willie's thermos, and we found your fingerprints on it.
My finger... Yeah, I guess maybe you would. I found his thermos lying on the floor of the locker room after they took him away in the ambulance. So I figured it fell out of Willie's locker, so I put it back. Hey! 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 Stop that horse! Stop him! Hold it down! Get that horse! Get him! Get him over here! What's the matter?
Hey, cut it out.
I'll cut your horse out. That's what I'll do. What are you trying to do? Kill that horse? I told you to bring him out here and breeze him, but with a tight hand. What are you trying to do, set the track record?
I took it easy until the home stretch. Willie Marshak told me to always ride by a nose full out when I came to the last quarter.
He told you that, did he? Yeah. Well, I happen to be the trainer. He's just hired help. Now, who you working for, me or...
Oh, you know better than that, Sparks. I'm not working for the bookies.
Oh, that's too bad.
What do you mean?
Well, according to you, you're not working for them, and according to me, you're not working for me anymore. So you better get a job, but not around horses, unless there happens to be an opening at the glue factory.
But Willie Marshak told me...
Look, just get out of the way.
Commissioner, you get the feeling they're all a little bit nutty around here?
Good morning, Angus.
Neat, isn't he?
Come on, let's go see Mendoza.
Mendoza's locker is 412.
Mendoza, you in here? McMillan.
Look, I gotta get rid of 2 pounds and a hangover by this afternoon.
Hard night?
Yeah. I got drunk and I pray that Willie's heart attack won't be fatal.
Why get drunk?
Sober, I don't believe in that stuff. Sober, I'm an atheist.
It's too hot in here. Come on outside. Willie didn't have a heart attack.
Then what?
He was poisoned. He's okay.
Who did it?
That's what we're trying to find out. I understand you were in here yesterday when Willie came in for his thermos.
Yeah, I was looking for my St. Christopher medal. I won't ride without it. It's not a religious thing. It's a habit. Promised my mother. Yeah, it was on the floor next to my locker.
Your locker near Willie's?
Right next to his. Who would do a lousy thing like that to Willie?
Would you have any reason to?
What have you been smoking, Commissioner? Look, Willie is my best friend. He's more than a friend. He's like a brother. Now, you think I'm going to get drunk and celebrate? No, it was sorrow. Because I thought my best buddy was lost. My sorrow now is that I drank so much.
Commissioner, your wife's on the phone.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's coming now, Sally. Okay, dear. Ciao. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. Hi. Oh, yeah? Well, that's fine. I'll be right over. Sally says Cyrus is feeling much better.
Good.
Angus, why did you say you hadn't phoned Cyrus lately?
What?
The other day when Sally was trying to reach him, you said you hadn't called him lately.
Oh, I hadn't.
But you had. Or at least you tried to. Why'd you lie about it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
His number isn't in here. It was, except you found out his phone was disconnected. So you removed his card from your Rolodex, being as meticulous as you are.
Is that a crime?
No. Being neat's not a crime. But attempted murder is.
So I tried calling my own brother. There. I confess. What, no handcuffs?
We think somebody is trying to kill your brother. Jokes and lies aren't going to help him. Or you, sir.
Okay, I tried calling him. No reason to lie about it. But I'd rather not discuss it. It's a family matter.
Sometimes so is murder. Why did you try to phone him?
We'd had another fight. I suppose I said a few things I shouldn't have. Called him a few names. Oh, he started it, but... Well, I guess I finished it. So I decided I'd call him up and apologize. At our age, fighting's not such a good idea. You can't be that sure you'll ever get a chance to make up.
So you found out his phone was disconnected. Do you have any idea why?
I'm not sure. At the time, I thought it was Si's way of getting me to drive out to apologize in person.
Did you?
My brother's not the only stubborn Scotsman in the world, you know.
I know.
All right, thanks very much for all your information.
What have you found out?
Sir, if money were a motive, we'd have a bumper crop of suspects.
For instance?
For instance, Howard Sparks. A few years ago, he tried to start his own stable. Blew his entire life savings and had to go back to training.
For instance?
For instance, Abel Mendoza. He's been on a losing streak lately. And with a wife, 4 kids, and assorted relatives to support, he's hurting. As for Price, he didn't have 2 nickels to rub together even before Sparks fired him. Which brings us to Angus McPhee.
Money trouble?
Mm-hmm. He's been living too high on too little for too long. His cash is nearly gone, and his credit is strictly...
That it?
Yes, sir, that's just about it. Except for what it's worth. Willie Marshak is also on the list of the ranks.
How can that be? Mendoza's the one with the losing streak. Marshak must be making $100,000 a year.
$112,000 last year, which is roughly what Mrs. Marshak spent at the department stores.
Very expensive tastes.
Even more expensive than the Internal Revenue Service, to whom Willie is in debt to the tune of $44,000. So you see, sir, if money is the motive, I really think we only have one suspect.
Who's that?
Angus McPhee. Sir, even without a will, as next of kin, he would inherit the entire estate. Correct, sir?
Sounds correct. Just doesn't feel correct.
Commissioner, you're not in your office.
No, I'm not.
That's right. I lifted the prints from the transistor radio.
What did you find?
3 sets.
3 sets?
Yes, Cyrus McPhee, Mrs. McMillan, and yours.
Some people can commit murders other people can't. I just don't believe Angus could kill anyone.
I didn't say Angus was guilty.
But you implied it.
I said he has the most obvious motive.
Well, then the motive just isn't that obvious.
Maybe.
No maybes about it, Mac. Angus is not a killer.
Since when are you so fond of Angus?
I'm not fond of Angus. I'm not fond of Phil Madison either, but that doesn't mean he goes around poisoning lamb chops.
Who is Phil Madison? And why would he go around poisoning lamb chops?
He wouldn't. That's my point. He's our butcher.
Oh, that's a relief. Now that I know our butcher isn't poisoning lamb chops, maybe I can get some sleep, if you'll let me.
Mac, Phil is a terrible butcher, but he's not a killer. It's the same with Angus. He's not the greatest brother, but he's not the type that could go out and commit fratricide. It's not his self-image. He's a lady killer. Not a killer. Well, since we know that Angus didn't do it, who could it be that's trying to kill Uncle Cyrus? And why? Well, it's a sure bet that I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. How about you? You rascal. I thought you were sleeping.
Hello.
Hello, Commissioner. This is the trainer, Howard Sparks, out the track.
Oh, good morning.
I just wanted to tell you that Mr. McPhee phoned me a little while ago. He says he's coming out to the track right away to pick up By-N-O's. He plans to take him back to the ranch with him.
The old fool.
Well, I just wanted you to know what that old coot was up to. He was bragging to me about how he snuck out on a fire escape. You know, I think this old guy is getting senile.
I'll be out there as soon as I can. If Cyrus gets there first, try to stall him.
I will, but there's something that I gotta tell you.
What is it?
Well, it'll hold until you get out here to the track.
I'm on my way. Public nuisance #1 is just busted out.
Uncle Cyrus! Uncle Cyrus! I know you're here. Where are you? Mac! Mac!
Commissioner.
Mac, we didn't know what had happened to you.
Just an early morning workout.
Somebody bashed Sparks over the head.
I know.
Look, I told you it wasn't me. It was like that when I found him.
You always run when you see a man unconscious?
I explained to you. I was afraid.
Are we booking him?
Not yet.
You mean I can go?
Yes, you can go.
We found this in the stall, Commissioner.
Check it for prints.
Mac, what do you think happened to Uncle Cyrus? He should have been here by now.
He's not here yet?
No.
Put out an APB on McPhee and put a tail on Mendoza.
Yes, sir. I want to see if I have an accurate description of Cyrus. 5 foot 10 inches, 170 pounds, blue eyes, sandy hair, 72 years old. Is that right?
I don't think Uncle Cyrus is that tall, do you?
Well, he's that tall, but not that old.
Uncle Cyrus, where have you been? We've been so worried.
What do you mean, where have I been?
You left the hospital hours ago.
I did?
Where have you been all this time?
Let me tell you something, Commissioner, and you're free to pass it on to your friend the mayor. The bus service in this town is just plain lousy.
You took a bus?
I took several.
Why didn't you take a cab?
Oh.
Well, that was a silly question.
Enright, see if you can get me the names of everybody that was in this area this morning.
Yes, sir.
What happened? I saw an ambulance pulling out. Oh, bad news, huh? Well, you can tell me. So long as I'm prepared for it, I can take it.
Someone bashed Sparks over the head.
We think it might have been Abel Mendoza. He was behaving kind of suspiciously.
Well, he's kind of a nervous fella. You know, thoroughbreds are that way. 1,200 pounds of sheer force, and I've seen them spooked half out of their minds by a 2-ounce mouse. Now,
Commissioner.
Excuse me, I gotta get going.
Going where?
Well, I'm taking Bio-Nose home with me.
Well, if by home you mean the hospital, then...
I mean the Tam O'Shanter.
No, you're not.
Oh, now, Sally, don't argue with a sick old man. The strain is bad on my heart.
What happened to the guy who could take it? He was here just a minute ago.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get my horse.
Did you ever hear of a mule owning a horse? He's gonna kill himself.
Yeah, well, that's one thing. We just want to be certain he doesn't have anybody to help him along.
You're right.
I'm going to station someone at his ranch.
Oh, you think Uncle Cyrus is gonna put up with that?
No, that's why we're not going to tell him.
Oh.
Commissioner? From what I could find out, this is a complete list. Of course, somebody may have snuck in.
Is Angus still here?
I believe so.
We'll talk to him first. I want you to station someone at the Tam O'Shanter. Make sure he keeps out of sight, but to keep Cyrus McPhee under constant surveillance.
Yes, sir.
How are you gonna get Bio-Nose there? On the bus?
Well, I've rented a car and trailer. Now I suppose I'll have to hire a driver.
Oh, I'll drive you.
You can't pull a trailer, Sally.
Oh, yes, I can.
No, you can't. You take him in his car. I'll see that the horse gets there.
I hope you're not one of those crazy hot rodders.
Hot rodders? How old did you say you were?
Smart guy, huh? Now, look, I don't like going faster. Can you keep it under 40?
What does it matter? I've got the most reasonable rates in town.
Well, in that case,
If you take a pill, you'll sleep the whole way.
only if you promise to keep it under 40.
She promises. She promises.
That's some pushy kid you're married to.
I'll see you when I get home.
Okay, drive carefully. Remember, you're transporting the last of the big spenders.
Okay. Come on, Bio-Nose.
Don't waste it, Commissioner. Inhale.
I don't smoke.
You don't know what you're missing.
Tell me, do you make it a rule to come in on Sunday?
No, I don't. I got behind some paperwork and had some catching up to do. I take it that question wasn't asked out of idle curiosity.
No. Howard Sparks was attacked this morning. Can you account for your movements the past hour or so?
I haven't any movements to account for, Commissioner. I've been here in my office since about 7:30. Was Sparks badly injured?
Don't know yet. Sounds we're at the hospital. Was Willie Marshak in here this morning?
I don't think so. That Rolls Royce of his is hard to miss. Hello? Willie. Speak of the devil. The commissioner was just asking about you. Tell me, how are you feeling? Oh, that's good. No, I'm afraid you can't. No, I just heard he was attacked this morning and he's in the hospital. They don't know. Okay, Willie. Ciao. That was Marshak. Wanted to let me know he'd be able to ride next week. You know, Commissioner, it's beginning to look like Bio-Nose as a jinx. First it's his owner, then his jockey, now it's his trainer.
Do you have any idea who might have attacked Sparks?
Well, if I had to guess, my numero uno suspect would be Abel Mendoza.
Why him?
Well, he used to be Cyrus's regular jockey. It was Sparks who first suggested to him that he replace Mendoza with Willie Marshak.
We may want to talk to you later, Angus, so stick around.
Oh, I'm always around, Commissioner.
You are at that.
Uncle Cyrus, did you take your pill yet?
After paying $2 for it, do you think I wouldn't?
Well, then why aren't you asleep?
Because obviously it wasn't worth $2.
Uncle Cyrus, we're here.
Huh? Already? Oh, there's nothing like having a nice nap, is there?
Nope, you're right. I could use one myself.
No, I don't understand.
What did they say
I mean,
happened?
there must have been something you could have done.
And you? Are you all right?
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
He slept through the whole thing?
Of course, I'll tell him right away.
All right. It's a little late, but take care. Bye.
Commissioner, that was the hospital. Sparks died in the ambulance. He never even regained consciousness. Is there something the matter with Mrs. McMillan?
Uh-huh. Her car went out of control. Somebody drained the brake fluid. Our killer's game plan has changed. It's no longer murder by indirection.
You know, sir, it seems to me he's under some sort of pressure.
Hmm.
Maybe some kind of time element. Who are we going to arrest?
Who do you suggest?
Well, you could drive a truck through any of their alibis. Angus McPhee claims he was in his office. He can't verify that.
And Mendoza claims he just happened to be on the scene of the murder. Very flimsy alibis.
Yes, sir. Which one is the guilty party? Frankly, I think McPhee's alibi is the weakest.
I don't think either of them is the man we want.
Well, why not?
Because of the weakness of their alibis. I mean, how often can you prove where you've been? Innocent people don't go around establishing foolproof alibis. But I can guarantee you almost that our killer has gone to a lot of trouble to create a foolproof alibi.
Well, I guess you're right.
Let's go see Sykes. Sykes,
Oh, hello, Commissioner.
don't poison yourself.
Oh, that's quite all right. I poured it myself.
What can you tell us about the murder weapon?
Well, sir, murder weapon? It's a hammer. Might as well still be part of a tree. It's clean.
Well, that figures.
It's your ordinary hammer. Nothing unusual about it. Killer could have picked it up anywhere. Would you like some more coffee?
No, thank you. Sykes, what were you saying yesterday about poison being in the thermos?
It's definitely strychnine.
No, you said something about Marshak drinking.
Oh, yeah. I said that if Marshak had been thirstier, He'd never be thirsty
again. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it.
You know, Commissioner, I'll tell you something. He's mighty lucky he took only one swig.
Where are you off to, Commissioner?
Check the Marshak's new car.
Check? For what?
Well, with Darlene's arm broken, I'm pretty sure she hasn't driven it. New car has 8, 9, maybe 10 miles on the speedometer. If the new car has more, Willie's going to have an awful lot of explaining to do.
You suspect Willie Marshak? Well, why? Didn't somebody try to poison him?
If you try to poison someone with strychnine, you're going to succeed. It's my hunch Willie took it himself. Just enough so we'd discover it in his system.
You're guessing now, aren't you?
Not entirely. He phoned Angus this morning in his office, remember? Mm-hmm. Unless he'd already been to the track and seen Angus in his office, how would he know he was there? Angus never comes in on Sunday. The other day, he was talking to Cyrus. He referred to Bio-Nose as our horse. And where does he get off telling Price how to exercise our horse unless he held a proprietary interest?
Sounds good. I think that I should come with you, Commissioner.
No. I want you to check with the post office. Find out if anybody answering Willie's description mailed a package the size of the radio Wednesday afternoon or at the latest Thursday morning.
There are an awful lot of branches.
There's a time limit on the ball. Remember, it had to be delivered by Friday morning.
Main branch.
Right. Miles.
What am I supposed to tell you? You tell me that Willie drove my new car. So big deal. He bought it. I guess it's no crime if he wants to drive it.
How could he afford to buy it? He owes the government over 40 grand.
That's the least of it.
Who else does he owe?
Oh, I could bite my tongue.
Later, who else does he owe?
Bookmakers. He dropped a bundle.
Who are they?
I don't know. He doesn't tell me anything. I heard him on the phone last week. He sounded desperate. He was guaranteeing some guy that he'd have the money for him very soon. Now, I don't know where he expected to get it. I offered to sell the car and hock some jewels, but Willie wouldn't let me. Would have bruised his pride. Pride makes him 10 feet tall. In his eyes, anyway, and I guess that's where it counts.
Where's Willie now?
I think he said he was going out to the Tam O'Shanter stables.
Why?
Well, he was going to ask Mr. McPhee if he could have the horse now instead of waiting till the old man dies.
He inherits Bio-Nose?
Sure. Mr. McPhee knows that Willie loves that horse as much as he does. That's why he wrote him out a paper a couple of weeks ago, stating that if anything happened to him, Willie gets Bio-Nose. But Willie needs him now.
Give me Sergeant Enright. Enright, put out an APB on Willie Marshak. And meet me at the McPhee Ranch.
That was fine. Thanks, Sally.
You're welcome.
How is by your nose?
I just put him in his stall. Now scoot down. Come on. He's resting comfortably. He's going to be just fine.
Sure he is. I'll bet you didn't fiddle with his pillows.
You're terrible. I should have known better than to get involved with a stubborn Scotsman. After all, I'm already married to one. Now, I'm bringing Mildred out here tomorrow to take proper care of you.
Who's Mildred?
She's our housekeeper.
What does she charge?
What do you care? We pay her.
Well, in that case...
Well, in that case, she's got great legs. You're going to love her.
Well...
Now, I want you to get some rest. God knows you're more trouble than you're worth, but you're so doggone cute.
Yes, I am, aren't I? Sally.
Yes?
Thank you.
For what?
For trying to steal an old man's apples.
Okay, let's go. Booking.
Around the far turn, it's total recall. On the inside in front, by ahead, by a nose, challenging for the lead. On the inside is second. Little Peter is third, followed by Tiger's Ragadina. They're turning into the stretch. It's total recall. In front, by a nose, challenging for the lead. It's total recall. And by a nose is in head. Total recall and by a nose. As they come down to the line of finish, it's by a nose. Getting a point in by a nose with jockey Abel Mendoza aboard.
What are you doing?
Oh, that's not mine. Sykes asked me to bet $2 on Total Recall. This is mine.
You know, I can't help thinking how all of this could have been avoided if only Willie had understood people as well as he understands horses.
How do you mean?
Uncle Cyrus loved Willie. He would have given him the money if he'd only asked. You know, I already told you Uncle Cyrus is only cheap when it comes to himself.
And even that's changed. He's had his phone put back in. And he even plans to remodel that chicken coop he calls home, or so he says.
You're kidding. That must be Mildred's influence.
No doubt. Mildred's very good with other people's money.
We better call Uncle Cyrus and tell him Abaya knows one.
Good idea. And while we're at it, let's test his New Year's resolution.
What do you mean?
Let's try reversing the charges.
Mildred? What's the matter? Wow, what is it?
Hello?
Commissioner?
Morning, Charlie.
Good morning, sir. Look, I'm sorry to bother you this early, but I thought you should know.
What?
Last night, sir, Mildred was attacked.
What? Is she all right?
Yes, sir. She's just a little frightened, that's all. The guy got in through the fire escape.
You think it was an attempt to intimidate the jury?
Well, Mildred thinks it was an attempt to rape. But, frankly, sir, I think that's debatable. In any case, Judge Freeman has ordered the entire jury to be moved to the new Stanhope Hotel for the remainder of the trial.
That's a good idea.
Well, I think so, sir. All the windows in that place are sealed. It can be guarded like a vault.
Hey, here they come. Hey, Luke, how do you feel? Confident. Will you appeal it if it goes against you? It's not going to. When are you going to join the team, Luke?
As soon as I can.
What about your wife?
What about it?
Well, are you contemplating a divorce?
No comment. I will be glad to meet with you when the trial is over.
That's the scene this morning at the county courthouse as Luke Johnson, star running back of the San Francisco Miners, enters Judge Freeman's courtroom for the last day of his trial for the murder of Mo Draper. His attorney, Leon Silver, when questioned by reporters, continued to display public confidence that his client would be acquitted. On the local scene, a citizens group is gearing up for the fight against the resumption of offshore drilling. Spokesperson Vilma Rosinski vows
Mac?
their case.
What?
I'm out of milk.
Well, I'm out of socks.
No, you're not. They're in the lower left-hand drawer right next to my nightgowns.
And now for the news in sports, here's Janet.
This coming Sunday's game between the Miners and the Bears looks like a mismatch if there ever was one. The Miners are having their troubles, and the Bears have fielded one of their strongest teams in a decade. If you're a Miners fan, better wait till next year. In NBA action last night, the Lakers edged the Warriors 110 to 107. Portland walloped the Bucks 120.
Sally, nothing in this house has been right since Mildred left.
Oh, she'll be back in a few days.
A few days? She's been gone 3 weeks.
Well, how would it have looked for the police commissioner's housekeeper not to serve on jury duty?
And how do you think it looks when a police commissioner's shirt is missing a button? Look at this. Mildred sewed 2 buttons on this cuff and none on this.
Well, she was kind of nervous before she left. She's never been on jury duty before.
But while we're on the subject, what were my black socks doing with your nightgown?
Oh, I put them there so I could find them. You know how my feet get cold when I'm pregnant?
You're the only woman I've ever known who wears black socks to bed.
I wish you'd stop comparing me to your other girlfriends. Especially when the toaster's busted again.
Pull the plug.
Oh, my eggs, Matt. Just when I wanted you to have a good breakfast.
Hey, that's okay. I'm not hungry anymore.
Oh, you are too.
All right, I'm hungry. I'm just trying to be nice. I'll settle for a nice hot cup of
No milk.
black coffee. Sally!
Don't yell. I'm a pregnant person.
What's a pregnant person got to do with forgetting to plug in the coffee?
We switch now to a live report from the county.
Mildred!
Where?
Here.
Standing by. Larry?
Thanks, Tom. There is an unmistakable air of tension this morning as the jury members in the Luke Johnson murder trial file into Judge Freeman's courtroom for the 23rd day to hear final arguments before starting their deliberations.
She doesn't look as if she's been raped.
What?
Now for the weather.
Well, somebody broke into her room last night.
You're kidding. Is she all right?
Oh, yeah. She was able to scare him off. Uh-oh, 15 minutes late.
Windy temperatures in the high 60s to low 70s with a low pressure system promising the definite possibility of rain in the Bay Area. And that's it. Have a good day. I'll see you tonight on the 6 o'clock news.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have sat very patiently day after day listening to Mr. Silver trying to becloud the basic issue of this case. Now, he's continually raised the specter of reasonable doubt, stating that the case against his client is purely one of circumstantial evidence. All right, let's take a look at some simple, provable facts. A score of witnesses, 10 minutes before Mo Draper was brutally beaten and shot, heard Luke Johnson threaten Mr. Draper's life. Now, that's a fact. A few minutes after that, Mo Draper left the party they were attending and was followed outside by Luke Johnson, and that's a fact. Just 5 minutes after that, Mo Draper was found shot to death in the parking lot of the restaurant where the party was being held. That's a fact.
Juror number 9. Second row. Dark hair, glasses. He's
Now, a
going to
short
get us
time
trouble, I
after
think.
that, Luke Johnson was arrested at his home, where he was assaulting his wife in a dispute over her alleged affections for Mo Draper. You've heard testimony here that the bullets which killed Mo Draper came from a .22 caliber handgun. You also heard testimony establishing the fact that Luke Johnson owned a .22 caliber pistol. Those are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Plain and simple facts. But when Mr. Johnson was asked to produce the weapon, he could not do so. To this day, it has not been found. Now, Mr. Silver here would ask us to believe that somebody stole Luke Johnson's gun and murdered Mo Draper. But I suggest to you that Luke Johnson murdered Mo Draper and then disposed of the gun himself. Now, we have established beyond doubt motive, means, and method. Now, you, ladies and gentlemen, have a responsibility to yourselves, to your neighbors, to your community. Find Luke Johnson guilty of murder in the second degree. Thank you.
Pompous ass. Now, Your Honor, if it please the court, it's very nearly lunchtime, and I, for one, would like to digest the district attorney's remarks before starting on my own.
Very well. Court is recessed until 2 o'clock.
should be coming up momentarily.
Sally, this is your favorite obscene phone caller. When you hear the little beep, I shall commence my heavy breathing. Beep.
Calling the wife again, sir?
Don't you ever knock?
Sorry. But you did say you wanted to see the police report on the break into Mildred's room last night? Nothing was stolen, sir, so apparently it wasn't robbery.
Did you get a look at him?
No, sir. Now, the man started to smother her, and then he stopped suddenly, ran back out onto the fire escape.
Sounds like a setup to me. An attempt to scare the jury and cause a mistrial.
Mm-hmm. Well, their new quarters are break-in proof, sir. They're on the 7th floor, and there's no way in or out of any of the rooms without passing the guard stations.
Good.
Sir? Are you aware that you have on 2 different colored socks?
Well, with Mildred on the jury for the last 3 weeks, I can take solace in the fact that I can find any socks at all.
You know, sir, I solved that problem years ago.
Oh?
Well, I threw out my bureau and I replaced it with a filing cabinet.
I don't think a filing cabinet would go with Sally's bedroom decor.
Oh. Well, it may not be aesthetic, sir, but it's very efficient. You see, I file my socks under S, and my T-shirts under T, and my shorts under B, and my tie...
B?
Boxers, sir.
Oh.
Well, I find them infinitely preferable to the other type. It's all a matter of taste, sir.
Well, if you have to sit all day, you know. Hello?
Hi, Mac. Listen, I just got home from shopping and I turned on the dishwasher and it's busted again. That repairman was terrible. Do you know he charged me $16 for that thing?
Mildred will fix it.
She can't fix it.
Oh, that's right. She's not there.
Mac, what am I gonna do? It's smoking all over the place. Every single dish in the house is in it and I can't get the thing open. I think we're gonna have to go out to dinner again tonight.
Again? We've been out every night this week.
Well, we've gotta eat.
Well, I'll stop and pick up some fried chicken or something. And meanwhile, unplug the dishwasher.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then listen, I think after that I'll go upstairs and have a good cry.
Good idea. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
And at any point in your deliberations, should you need to refresh yourselves on any of the evidence or the testimony, simply let the bailiff know, and he will make the transcripts available to you. The bailiff will now escort you to the jury room.
Ladies and gentlemen, and others, so a Milton Berle I'm not. However, we got to have a jury foreman, so I nominate myself.
I second the nomination, Mr. Pearl.
Thank you, Mildred. I'm honored. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? So be it. So let's debate.
Mr. Pearl, I think before you begin, we might poll the members and see if there's anything to debate.
Yeah, she's right. That's a fine idea, Miss Jerome. And since I'm foreman, I may as well go on record as being for acquittal. I don't think that the district attorney proved his case. Mrs. Farmer?
Well, if you ask me, he's innocent of all charges.
Mr. Davis?
I gotta vote innocent, at least for now.
Mrs. Potts?
I just don't think that young man is a killer. That's all. Not guilty.
Mr. Franks?
I vote. Not guilty.
Mrs. Burke?
Not guilty.
Mr. Lopez?
Not guilty.
Mr. Simon?
A definite not guilty.
Miss Jerome?
Innocent.
Mrs. Delgado?
Not guilty.
I think we may be going home early. Mr. Ryan?
Guilty. Guilty?
Is he kidding? How can he say that?
Well, he just opens his mouth and moves his lips. Works every time.
Mr. Ryan, you can't convict if there's reasonable doubt.
At this point, Mr. Lopez, I have no reasonable doubt.
And you have no sense if you say that boy is guilty.
Man's got a right to his opinion. That's what we're here for.
A point well taken, Mr. Davis.
That's baloney. What does that guy know? A professional football player. Now, what would he go around killing people for?
Sure, especially when he can do it every Sunday, legally.
Oh, listen to her, would you?
No, I would
Listen, wait a minute. Will you just a minute, please? Why don't we just all go back to the hotel, have a nice dinner, a good night's sleep, and tackle this thing fresh in the morning?
That's the smartest thing I've heard so far.
Do we have to?
Well, we've been here 3 weeks already. Is another day gonna kill us?
Me, it'll kill. But I guess you're right.
Well, at least we agree on something.
Hello. Okay, thanks. Mike?
Yeah?
Coming up. Hiya, folks. Mike will sign in. I'll take your dinner orders. The chef recommends steak or fish.
Well, for Mr. Ryan, I recommend heartburn. For myself, I'll have fish.
Okay.
One good flounder deserves another. I'll have the steak, salad with French dressing, iced tea, hold the mayo.
Bad day, huh?
Listen, we sat 6 hours in the jury box, another hour in the jury room, and I look forward to sitting in my room having my dinner. Without TV or radio or telephone, maybe I can break up the monotony by going to bed. Maybe I'll get attacked again.
Oh, no way, Mildred. Not in this place.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello, Mr. Pearl.
How are you? I would like the fish, but it shouldn't be too dry, huh?
Okay.
And I would like a nice salad.
Salad, sure.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, Mr. Room.
Hi, Jerry.
How's the book?
Terrific.
Oh, hello, plastic room.
Okay. Thanks, fellas. Hey, Mike, why don't you stay on the desk? Let me play waiter. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, Mildred, you're a vision.
Thanks. I love you, too. Put it on the desk over there, okay?
Well, it's a hung jury. 7 of you went for the steak and 5 got fish.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen, what do you say after dinner we play a couple of hands of strip pinochle?
No, not tonight. Miss Jerome has a better offer. She wants me to play post office.
Oh, yeah? Well, if you get tired licking stamps, let me know.
Yeah, I will. Hello?
Yes, this is Virginia Ryan.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to talk to Tom Ryan, if I may. Is he awake?
No, I think they're all asleep by now.
It's rather important. His father has taken a turn for the worse, and his doctor's thinking of hospitalizing him.
Gee, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know Tom must be exhausted from the trial.
No, that's all right. I'll wake him and tell him.
I'd appreciate it. And if he's allowed, I'd like to talk to him.
I'll tell him.
Thank you so much.
Good night, Mrs. Ryan. Mr. Ryan? Mr. Ryan, open up. Try the door. Locked. He's dead. He's been shot. Call it in, will you? Move, man, move it!
When Mildred gets back and before we have the baby, let's take the weekend off.
Where to?
I was thinking Las Vegas might be kind of fun.
You always lose the food money at blackjack.
I know, but you always win it back at the crap table.
I'd rather go to a nice deserted beach somewhere
How about Hawaii?
for the weekend.
Well, we could take the whole week. Amy Switzer was telling me about this place that she went to. She said it was just fabulous.
How much?
210
That's not bad.
a day.
That's bad. Oh,
Do you feel like getting that?
not a lot.
I don't either, and you're closer.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Charlie, do you know what time it is?
10:45. I'm sorry to bust in like this, but there's been a murder. One of the jurors on the Luke Johnson case.
Oh, my Lord. How's Mildred?
Oh, she's fine. She's
Who
fine.
was it?
It was a man called Tom Ryan Jr., sir.
Oh, I know his father.
I know you do.
Well, that's why I came by, sir. Plus the incident involving Mildred last night.
I'll get my jacket.
I'll get it.
Don't forget your shoes, sir.
I don't know why you insisted on coming here with us.
Mac, Mildred must be petrified. She's gonna need me.
For what? To hang around the lobby?
Well, I won't get in the way upstairs, I promise.
You have to stay down here. It's still an impaneled jury.
Oh. Well, will you give Mildred my love?
I will.
Okay, I'll see you. I'll be in the lounge.
Okay.
Oh, Commissioner, I'm glad to see you. Listen, he was such a nice young man. He was under lock and key here. Now, last night I can
understand a word you're saying.
I said last night I can understand, but in this hotel it just couldn't happen.
Well, it did.
Well, you've got to solve it. Everybody's scared out of their wits. They feel if it can happen to one, it can happen to anybody.
All right, let me get in there and find out the details.
It's room 720. Oh, yeah.
Sam?
Evening, Commissioner.
What?
We got a 2-hour-old corpse, give or take. Rigor mortis is just setting in. I needed this like a hole in the head. I got 3 steps downtown I can't get to.
Well, I think they'll wait for you, Sam. What else?
He shot twice in the back below the rib cage. Cause of death, loss of blood, massive dysfunction of his kidneys.
If he died 2 hours ago, how come the blood's still wet?
That's lividity. As the blood settles to the lowest point in the body, it continues to seep out.
All right. I want a complete report on my desk in the morning.
Oh, Commissioner, give me a break.
I just did. I'm not asking for it tonight.
It is very curious, sir.
What?
Well, the way this place is set up, no one could have gone in or come out of this room without being seen by those 2 guards. And the door was locked from the inside.
What about the windows?
2 sealed panes of glass. There's not a window in this entire hotel that opens.
The room has been searched, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. It's been searched. The closets, the john. There's no sign of a weapon anywhere.
You did talk to the guards?
Yeah, I got the statements a couple of minutes ago.
I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask him.
Officer, can I see you for a moment?
Which one of you found the body?
Well, actually, sir, we both found him. I broke the door in, and Mike here phoned the police.
What were you doing in his room in the first place?
A phone call came in at 10:30, and when I took the message in, we found him. It was a call from Mr. Ryan's stepmother.
Could I hear the tape?
Yeah, sure, sir. The calls are automatically recorded when they come in, and then I transfer them into the book according to what time they came and who called.
Hello.
Yes, this is Virginia Ryan.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to talk to Tom Ryan, if I may. Is he awake?
No, I think they're all asleep by now.
Well, it's rather important. His father's taken a turn for the worse, and his doctor's thinking of hospitalizing him.
Gee, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know Tom must be exhausted from the trial.
No, that's all right. I'll wake him and tell him.
I'd appreciate it. And if he's allowed, I'd like to talk to him.
I'll tell him.
Thank you so much.
Good night, Mrs. Ryan.
As you know, Commissioner, we record all calls coming in so as to avoid any possibility of pressure or threats to the jury members.
Well, it didn't work very well, did it?
No, I guess not, sir.
Is there any possibility of gaining access to the room without being spotted?
I don't see how, Commissioner. Jerry here was in Miss Jerome's room from about 7:45 to 8:15 or so, but I was on the desk the whole time.
Miss Jerome, who's...
Miss Jerome is a jury member who's also a freelance writer. She's writing a book about the trial, and she wanted to interview me.
I'll bet.
Commissioner, I feel terrible about this. It probably wouldn't have happened if I hadn't left my desk.
I doubt if it would have made any difference. You say you never left the desk?
No, sir. Mr. Mordani, the house detective, can vouch for that. He was up here shooting the breeze till past 9 o'clock.
Okay, well, I may want to talk to you boys again.
Anytime, Commissioner.
Commissioner? This is Mr. Pearl, our jury foreman.
Terrible thing, Commissioner.
And this is Mr. Mordanti, the house dick.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Commissioner. I'm Director of Internal Security here at the hotel. If there's anything I can do for you, anything at all, anything you want to know, please call me, okay? Nino Mordanti. Mordanti.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Mordanti. Mildred, will you be all right?
Commissioner, can't I come home tonight?
You're an impaneled jurist, Mildred.
Well, can't you get me unpaneled? I mean, somebody could get killed around here. Somebody did get killed around here.
A terrible thing.
I'm sorry, Mildred, but until the judge decides the disposition of the case, you'll all have to stay here under guard.
A lot of good that'll do.
You got nothing to worry about, Commissioner. Mildred is in the best of hands. Your concern, my concern. Mordanti protects. It's a very personal motto.
I appreciate that, Mr. Mordanti.
Think nothing of it.
No, he won't.
Mildred, try not to worry. I'll have guards posted in and outside of this hotel all night, even up on the roof. You'll all feel perfectly safe, I promise.
Thank you.
You know that if you were 14 inches taller, I could go for you.
Yeah, and if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his keister when he jumped off a log.
Yeah. Well, good night, Mildred. Mr. Pearl, Mr. Mordanti.
Commissioner.
I know. A terrible thing.
Terrible.
Commissioner. Commissioner, you were right. I've just been talking to some of the other jurors, and I think we have found a motive for murder.
What's that?
Well, according to them, the first vote that was taken in the jury room, Mr. Rhine was the only person who voted guilty.
Well, if that's a motive, then either the jury room was bugged by somebody on the outside, or one of the jurists killed Tom Rhine.
Well, I'll have that jury room checked for a bug tonight, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me. Ever been to Seattle?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have to come up there as my guest. You've heard of our needle
What needle?
from the fair.
Oh, that needle. Yes.
So, we're all down here for this sales convention. But I gotta be honest, the other guys may be having a blast, but me, well, it's tough to have a good time when you're feeling as lonely as I feel. You don't know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
I knew you would. I sensed that from you right off. I feel as if I somehow know you. Do you share that feeling?
Definitely. It's as though, well, it's as though I know exactly what you're going to say, even before you say it.
I've never done this before. But would you like to see my suit?
Well, I can see your suit. It's very nice.
Oh, not this suit. My suit of rooms on the 6th floor.
That's sweet.
Thank you. You're sweet, too.
Excuse me, miss, but, is this gentleman your husband?
No, he's just an acquaintance.
Well, I'm operating on a very tight schedule. Now, are you going to spend the night with me in this hotel or not?
Hey, wait a minute.
Yes, I think I'd like that very much.
Well, let's go then. We haven't got all night.
You're pregnant.
You noticed.
Oh, Commissioner, I'm glad I caught up with you. Well, I came in your car, and my car's back in your place, so could you give me a lift?
We're just leaving.
Hey, Mac.
He knows your name.
I just wanted to tell you, you got a lot of nerve taking advantage of a lady in that condition.
Well, actually, I'm the lady's brother.
Oh, yeah, sure. And I'm Bernini Mussolino.
Well, good night, Sergeant. Good night, Mayor.
Good night. I'll see you in a little while. We're gonna have a little snack. Come on, Charlie.
Okay.
Well, here, why don't you do the eggs? I'll do the onions.
I hope, Commissioner, that this isn't too much trouble for you.
Not at all.
Sir, do you think that this murder and the attack on Mildred last night are interrelated?
Oh, I don't think so. Could be.
Well, this is not going to be an easy case.
I know.
In fact, I've never seen anything quite like it, sir. According to all the available evidence, it didn't happen. There was no way.
I know.
All the doors locked from the inside. There was always a guard on duty. None of the rooms connect.
I know.
Do you think Luke Johnson did it?
It's doubtful. Because if he knew Tom Ryan voted guilty, he'd know that the other 11 jurors voted not guilty. He'd also have to assume that the odds would be in favor of an eventual acquittal. And a murdered juror would probably result in a mistrial. And I don't think he wants to go through all that again.
And it was someone else. Someone who doesn't want to see Luke Johnson back in uniform this season.
For any other season, for that matter.
Oh, sir, don't feel so bad. It isn't hopeless.
I'm crying because I peeled an onion, not because I can't solve the case.
You mean you can solve the case?
I didn't say that. Charlie.
Yes, sir?
Do you realize you just cracked 14 eggs?
I hope you're hungry.
After carefully weighing the alternatives, I feel there is no choice but to declare a mistrial. Under the circumstances, it would not make sense to replace the deceased with an alternate. The case has been irrevocably prejudiced due to the implied threat to the entire jury, and I am loath to even set a new date for trial until this tragic murder has been solved. It is the court's hope that Mr. Ryan's murder is solved with dispatch. This kind of threat to our very system of trial by jury will not be tolerated. With deep thanks and heartfelt regrets, the jury is hereby dismissed.
Of course I'm upset by last night's murder. What are you gonna do now? Are you kidding? What can I do? Whatever happens, there's no way I'll be able to play out the rest of the season. Will you appeal to the commissioner of football?
The commissioner's office has made it quite clear that under no circumstances will Luke's suspension be lifted until this entire matter has been resolved. Now, gentlemen, if you'll excuse us.
Could I ask you one more question?
I appreciate this impromptu meeting, Stewart. How have you been?
Can't complain, Leon. What can I do for you?
Luke?
Commissioner, I don't know if you've been following my case.
I'm familiar with it, of course.
Well, I didn't kill Mo Draper.
Well, that's up to the jury to decide.
I know that. But the way it looks now, unless this new murder is solved, and fast, I'm finished in the pros.
You were suspended. Not banned.
Well, Luke's lost a half season already. Stewart, he could wind up losing a whole year.
A running back, if he's lucky, has maybe 5 or 6 years before some faster, stronger, tougher kid comes along and bumps you out of a job. I've never begged for anything in my life before, but I'm begging you now. Please catch this guy, fast.
According to your statement last night, you were home all evening.
That's right.
But you can't prove it.
No, sir, I can't. But I'm asking you, if it was you on trial, and you had every reason to believe the jury was going to acquit, would you kill the one guy who was voting against you?
How did you know he voted against you?
Well, that's my fault, I'm afraid, Stewart. You've been there. You get so you can read a jury, and I knew Ryan was going to give us some trouble. Well, I told Luke as much.
I guarantee you, Commissioner, You catch the guy that killed Ryan, and you got the guy that killed Mo Draper.
Well, needless to say, Luke, I intend to get to the bottom of Mr. Ryan's murder. No matter who gets hurt.
Okay. Now, you better take off, Luke.
Okay.
Thank you for seeing us, Stuart. What do you think, Commissioner?
I think Leon Silver's one hell of a good attorney. He wants me on their side, so he took the direct route.
Well, they sold me. I don't think Luke Johnson is guilty of murder.
Which one?
Neither one.
Lord, we commend unto thy hands the soul of thy faithful servant, Thomas Ryan, Jr. And we pray you will bless him and bestow upon him thy everlasting bounty. Amen.
Mrs. Ryan, I'm Sally McMillan.
I'm Mrs. Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. You must be Stuart McMillan.
I wish we were meeting under less tragic circumstances, Mrs. Ryan. Thomas?
Celia, would you take Mr. Ryan to the car, please?
Yes, ma'am.
He had a series of debilitating strokes since you last saw him.
I didn't know that.
With Thomas Jr.'s death, I'm just afraid that he'll lose his will to live.
I know this must be a difficult time for you, Mrs. Ryan.
It is. We're all going to miss Thomas Jr. terribly. Oh, he was such a fine, strong man. He had such high ideals. Just like his father. So ironic that those ideals were what killed him. We tried to talk him out of going on jury duty. It certainly would have been easy enough to arrange. He said no. He felt he had a responsibility to go through with it. Sometimes it seems to me the whole world must be going crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
Thomas, you always were a fighter. Don't let this beat you. Be strong.
I don't know how much longer I have. Find my son's killer before I die. I want justice.
I'll do my best, Thomas. I promise.
What are you thinking about, Mac?
Last time I saw Tom Ryan Sr. He was a big man then, full of energy. Started with nothing, amassed a fortune in the private aircraft business. I lost track of him for a while. A couple years ago, he called me and told me he'd remarried. Said he had everything. Wife, loved it. Son taking over more and more of the business, successfully. Looking forward to the future with such enthusiasm. And now this.
You know, Virginia Ryan seems to be an admirable woman, doesn't she?
Will you take care of me when I'm old and gray?
I don't know. You're not as rich as Tom Ryan Sr.
On the other hand, Miss Cynical.
Ms. Cynical.
On the other hand, I didn't make you sign a binding premarital agreement cutting you out of the family fortune.
Tom Ryan did.
Virginia married him because she loved him.
Well, that's why I married you.
Go on, you married me for my money.
You didn't have a nickel in savings when I married you.
We still don't have a nickel in savings.
Yes, but look how much higher our standard of living is.
This thing was jammed with breadcrumbs. Ought to work now.
What about the dishwasher?
Well, the starter button's busted on that. I'll go to work on that tomorrow.
Mildred, you're fantastic.
I'd like to think so.
Evening, ladies.
Hi, Commissioner. Listen, I have a roast beef sandwich waiting. Would you like to have it?
I'd love it. Mildred, it's good to have you home again.
Oh, it's nice to be had, Commissioner.
Well, this was delivered by messenger. It's the Luke Johnson trial transcript.
It's awfully fat.
1,028 pages.
They have the Classics Illustrated version.
You can always wait and see the movie.
Hey, Commissioner, you remember that house Dick Mordanti?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should hear some of the cockamamie ideas he has about this case.
I know. He called the office 3 times today.
Yeah, we started to call here, too.
Well, at this point, I'm ready to listen to anybody.
That's tough, huh?
I'm stymied. Nothing adds up.
He's asked me out to dinner tomorrow.
Dinner, huh?
Well, I know he's not exactly a brain trust, but who am I to turn down a freebie, you know?
There's one thing I don't understand. Why the gun never turned up.
Which gun?
I'm talking about the gun that killed Mo Draper. Now, the DA claimed that it was owned by Luke Johnson, but it never showed up.
Boy, if I was the murderer, the first thing I'd do is ditch the weapon.
I know, but it says here that between the time that Luke Johnson allegedly killed Mo Draper and the time that he was arrested, only 20 minutes elapsed.
Well, that's plenty of time to hide one teeny-weeny little gun.
Yeah, but the police searched a 5-square-mile area around the Johnson house, and they couldn't find a thing.
Well, maybe Luke's gun was stolen before the murder by somebody who wanted to frame him.
Which is exactly the case that Luke's attorney's trying to make. Oh, this cream soda. Mildred, you know I don't like cream soda.
Well, there was a wonderful sale at the supermarket, and I couldn't resist it. I bought 2 cases.
There are 4 down in the garage now from the last sale you couldn't resist.
Boy, home 2 days and already the honeymoon is over.
And the bread isn't even brown yet.
Better to pop up prematurely than not at all, right, Commissioner?
Mac, what about Andrew Brill?
President of the football team?
Mm-hmm. You know, Luke Johnson's been playing for the Miners for 3 years, and for 3 years he has feuded with Andrew Brill about money. Everybody knows he's going to play out his option this year and the next year sign with another team.
I didn't know that.
Mildred, it's right here in the trial transcript. You were there, remember?
Oh, yeah. I was just testing you to see if you'd read it carefully.
Anyway, from what I know about Andrew Brill, he would destroy one of his players before he'd let him go to another team.
Yeah, that ought to do it.
Mildred, are you all right?
I think I did something wrong.
Thanks.
Gentlemen, a little more spirit, please. I know it's only practice, but Big Brother's watching.
Football players are a subhuman species, Commissioner. Big, dumb, money-hungry, and violent.
And now for the bad news.
It's like running a zoo. You have to keep them on a short leash and let them know who's boss, otherwise they'll bite your arm off at the elbow. As far as I'm concerned, they're meat.
Well, if that's so, Mr. Brill, you've got a lot of filet mignon down there.
Sally, may I call you Sally?
Please.
You're delightful. Commissioner, I may not care for football players, but I have an abiding love and respect for women.
If you dislike the players so much, why do you stay in the business?
Because I love the money and the power.
Not to mention the notoriety.
Oh, that too. I've been accused of being arbitrary, tyrannical, cheapest man with a buck in pro football. I feuded with everyone at one time or another.
Well, you must have done something right. The directors would have ousted you long ago.
That gutless bunch are the least of my problems. I own 40% of the stock in the Miners. The rest of them own 60, but they've never been able to stop fighting among themselves long enough to get rid of me.
Well, before they do, you'll have to invite us over to watch a game from your box. It's the most perfect view in the stadium.
You're welcome. Any and every Sunday, Sally, with or without your husband.
I'm going down to the field. I'd like to talk to one of your running backs, Carter Lewis. Do you mind?
Oh. Only if you leave your wife with me as a captive.
Who is captive of whom remains to be seen.
Mr. Brill.
Call me Andy.
Andy. I have been following football from grade school through high school and college. I've been a fan of the Miners for I don't know how many years, and I know the stats on every single player down there on the field.
That's more than I can say for the coaching staff.
Mr. Urbanowski?
Yeah, who are you?
Police Commissioner McMillan.
Oh, how you doing? Nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise, Mr. Urbanowski.
Just call me Coach. Everybody calls me Coach, even my wife.
Well, Coach, I wonder if I could talk to one of your players for a minute or two. Carter Lewis.
Sure thing. Hey, Lewis, come here a minute. You ever play football, Commissioner?
Oh, saw him in college.
Tight end, right?
How'd you guess?
Well, you're really not big enough for defense, but it looks like you got good speed.
Had speed.
Ain't it the truth? Carter, this is Commissioner of Police McMillan. He wants to talk to you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
What's a big shot dude like you want to talk to me for?
It's about Luke Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
I need some information.
Well, I'm sorry, Jim. I don't know nothing about nothing, you know?
I've done some research on you, Mr. Lewis.
No fooling.
No fooling. Phi Beta Kappa at North Carolina. Master's degree in speech therapy. Save your act for Howard Cosell.
It's just that I'm tired of being bugged with questions about Luke Johnson. You know, I just want to be left alone.
I've got 2 murders on my hands, Mr. Lewis. It's not my job to leave people alone.
Yeah, well, I've got my hands full trying to hold on to my job.
You were second string until Luke Johnson was suspended, is that right?
So what?
Well, if you were acquitted, you'd lose that job suddenly that you're trying so hard to hang on to.
Man, you are really something.
I already know where you were when Mo Draper was murdered. Can you verify your whereabouts when Tom Ryan was murdered?
Well, I'm in training. I went home early and I went to bed. No, I can't prove it. Besides, I don't have to. As far as I'm concerned, I am the starting back for the San Francisco Miners. And if Luke Johnson were to come back tomorrow, he would have to win the position from me. And you know, I just like that fine. Because I think the guy is overrated, and I'd like nothing better than a chance to prove it.
Well, it's academic at this point anyway, isn't it? As long as Luke Johnson's a suspect, you don't have anything to worry about.
I don't have anything to worry about anyway. Everybody knows he was going to play out his option and quit the team this season. Look, I've got work to do, man.
You've got a pretty tough reputation, don't you, Andy?
True. But I like to think I'm also a fair man.
Except when it comes to contracts, right?
Well, I found that my judgment of what's fair often conflicts with those who work for me. But football is a business. And like other businesses, you have to remain cost-conscious at all times.
Do you renegotiate the contracts personally?
No, I let my general manager, Buddy Stone, do that. But general managers are a dime a dozen. If they don't toe the mark for me, they're out.
Ready, Sally?
Uh-huh.
Hi, Commissioner. I was telling your wife. This Sunday, I insist you come as my guest.
Oh, thank you. We'd love to.
And, Commissioner, if there's anything I can do to help you with your investigation, let me know.
I'll do that.
Whatever my personal feelings toward Luke, I do have a sense of justice. And if he's been wrongfully accused, he deserves to be cleared.
Andy, Oh, excuse me.
No, come in. Mrs. McMillan, Commissioner McMillan, this is Buddy Stone, my general manager.
How do you do?
This week. Always keep them on their toes, eh, Sally? Only way to run an airline.
Hi. Gee, that looks nice.
Oh, thank you. You in the business?
No, just an avid window shopper.
Well, I'm almost through here. Can I show you something in the store?
Are you Lena Johnson?
Yeah.
To be very honest with you, I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
I should have known. Reporter.
No, I'm not. My name is Sally McMillan. My husband's Stuart McMillan. He's the commissioner of police.
Well, Mrs. McMillan, I don't mean to be rude, but I have nothing to say to you.
I don't believe that Luke killed Mo Draper. I know that if we can solve the murder of that juror the other night, that maybe we can prove it.
We?
Well, I take an active interest in my husband's work.
My husband thought I took too much interest in his.
Can you think of anyone that would go so far as to kill a juror in order to keep Luke from playing out this season with the team?
There's only one man I know crazy enough to go that far. Andrew Brill.
How did I know that you were going to say that?
He and Luke have feuded over money ever since Luke was drafted by the Miners. He even refused to renegotiate Luke's contract. I don't work here because I like to. I do it because I have to.
Luke never renegotiated his contract?
Nope. And when Luke told Brill that he was going to play out his option and quit the team, Brill threatened to ruin Luke. Oh, we didn't think anything about it, though, because we knew Luke could go to any team he wanted to.
Well, naturally.
And then Mo was killed, and, well, you know the rest.
Have you talked to your husband since the trial began?
No. I think he still believes I was having an affair with Mo. No, I wasn't. But Luke always thought I was having an affair with someone. When he was on the road, he'd call me, and if I wasn't home, he'd go crazy. But if I was home, he'd accuse me of having someone there. Damned if I did, and damned if I didn't. Even if this thing with Mo hadn't happened, I don't think we could have stayed together.
Lena, I appreciate your having talked to me. I know everything's gonna work out.
I hope so, Mrs.
Bye-bye.
How many times have I told
You know, it never ceases to amaze me.
What's that?
Every time I want to talk to somebody, you always beat me to the punch.
Pure coincidence.
Ha!
I was walking on my way to lunch, and I just happened to bump into Lena Johnson.
In a window display?
Do you want to know what she told me or not?
Why, yes.
She and Luke are absolutely broke.
Well, paying Leon Silver's attorney fees would break a lot of people.
Before that, Andrew Brill flatly refuses to renegotiate Luke's contract. That's why Lena's had to keep working to make ends meet. Either Leon Silver has taken Luke on as a charity case, or somebody else is footing that bill.
From what I know of Leon Silver, he wouldn't pay a jaywalking ticket for his mother.
So much for charity. Boy, am I hungry. Do you want to have some lunch?
Yeah, I know a neat hot dog place right down the road.
I have told you so many times that stuff is terrible for you. Let's go to Clean Mind, Clean Body.
A gymnasium to eat?
It's a health food restaurant. It's terrific.
Yuck. What are you doing after lunch?
I'm going shopping.
Sally?
I really am.
Before talking with Leon Silver or after?
You're amazing. You read my mind.
2 veggie burgers, a side of slaw, and ice-cold carrot juice.
The mind boggles. I don't know why you would.
I don't know how you can keep drinking carrot juice. I mean...
Hey, mister, watch your step, huh?
Hey, wait a minute. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Hey, Joey, you mind if he asks me a question?
No, go ahead.
How do you install one of these windows? Is it difficult?
Not if you know what you're doing, no. Put the window in the frame using this suction gizmo. Seal it up around the edges, pull the gizmo.
And, you remove the window the same way?
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
I see. Well, thank you very much.
Anytime. Hey, listen, just take a card, just in case you need
Oh,
some window.
no, that's okay.
Take it, I'm telling you. You never know when a window might break on you. Yeah, just a second. Hold this a second. Here. Here, hold that. Joe, give me a card. I'm all out.
Again?
Come on.
Do you believe this?
Come on. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Here you go, pal.
Do you want to take this first?
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Anytime.
This is only the outer office.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Why are we whispering?
Well, it's so dignified. It's like a museum. I always whisper in museums. May I help you?
Yes, we'd like to see Mr. Silver.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but would you tell him Stuart McMillan, Commissioner of Police, would like a few moments of his time?
Oh, Commissioner, excuse me. I didn't recognize you. I'll just tell him you're here.
Thank you.
Should she have recognized you?
Your Honor, I swear I've never seen that woman before in my life.
You'll see now.
Come on in. It's good to see you.
Nice to know that everybody around here isn't a whisperer.
Well, I'm the whisperee.
I don't believe you've met my wife.
Oh, no, I'm afraid I've never had that pleasure before.
Sally, this is Leon Silver.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Well, Mac, I'm honored. I think in all the years we've known each other, this is the first time I've ever had the pleasure of a visit from you.
That's right.
What do you think?
Very nice.
I think it's one of the most beautiful offices I've ever seen.
Why, thank you. Please feel free to look around.
I think it will.
I am rather proud of it. It's taken me years to get it just right. Oh, I've just had lunch. Can I order you some?
No, thank you. We've eaten.
Well, is this a purely social visit, Stuart?
No.
I thought as much. What can I do for you?
Who's paying you for Luke Johnson's legal fees?
Well, you might say that I'm representing Mr. Johnson out of a love for the game of football.
I might, but I won't.
Well, I don't suppose there's any reason for secrecy about it. A good part of the tab is being paid by Buddy Stone, the general manager of the team. And the rest is in the form of an IOU signed by Luke Johnson.
Isn't Stone's generosity a bit excessive? I mean, what with Luke's announcement of quitting the team?
Well, I've known Buddy Stone for years, ever since his playing days with the Bears. And he's the only friend the players have. At best, Andrew Brill's attitude can be described as contemptible.
Why does he stay with Brill?
That's a good question. I've advised Buddy to quit many times, but he's concerned with the players' welfare, both on the field and off. And I might add that without him, there'd be mutiny on the team.
You said that Luke signed an IOU.
Yes, that's right. Payable when he's exonerated.
You must mean if he's exonerated.
Oh, he will be, my dear. He will be. I haven't lost a case in years.
Hello, sir. Mrs. McMillan?
Hi, Sergeant.
Did you find the information?
Yes, sir. The windows of this hotel are washed on a continuous basis, and they have a permanent electrical scaffolding up on the roof.
Is that how Tom Ryan was killed?
I don't know, but it's worth looking into. You ever ridden up on a scaffolding?
No, sir.
Well, there's always the first time. Did you bring your dusting kit?
Yes, sir. One of the lab men lent it to me.
Good. Then let's go up on the roof.
I'm getting kind of hungry. I think I'll wait for you guys in the coffee shop.
You just had lunch.
What can I tell you? See you later.
I wish I could eat like that.
Commissioner. Commissioner, I've been calling you for days.
No kidding.
Yes, no, I'm not kidding. I keep getting your secretary, your Mildred.
Well, the office has been pretty hectic.
Yeah, that's all right. I know how busy you must be, except that I think I've cracked your case for you.
You have?
Yes, I have.
Uh-huh. Well, why don't you ride up to the roof with us and you can tell us about it?
All right.
Decide what you want, miss?
Yep. Swiss cheese, lettuce, and tomato, rye down, and hold the mayo.
I got you.
Hey, can you remember the night of the murder?
Does a duck have feathers? I was on the night shift. I am the guy that prepared all those dinners for the jurors. I tell you, it was a miserable night all around. Yeah, Chester died that night.
What a shame. Who was Chester?
My dog, a terrier.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry.
Well, what can you do? He was an old guy. He led a good life. He had his own bed. A girlfriend next door had died soon. I should be so lucky.
You must have loved him very much.
Yeah.
How'd he die?
The vet said poison. He probably got into the neighbor's gopher traps.
You know what you've got to do? Go right down to the pound and get yourself another little puppy.
I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. You just don't replace a loved one in a minute. You know what I mean?
It's really quite obvious once you break the case down into its components.
Componencies?
Right. Now follow this, Commissioner. Someone in the kitchen, right?
Okay.
Okay, now this alleged someone hides a gun on one of the dinner cards, and it's sent up to the 9th floor along with the rest of the jurors' dinner orders. In the meantime, the maid has been hiding in Tom Ryan's room all day. Are you with me?
Avidly.
All right. Now, the dinner tray is delivered to the victim's room. The maid takes the gun off the tray shoots the juror in the back twice, puts the gun back on the tray. The tray is removed, sent back to the kitchen, where an accomplice gets rid of the gun. You find out who was the maid that day, and you've got yourself a killer. What do you think?
Mr. Mordanti, I can see where you've given this case a lot of thought.
Well, Commissioner, after all, this is my hotel. I therefore feel, you know, a special responsibility to help you solve this caper, you know.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Mordanti, and frankly, I had considered your solution, but I rejected it.
Why? Why?
Well, if it had been the maid, one of the guards would have noticed her leaving the room at some point after the murder. But I like the way your mind works, Mr. Mordanti. Keep it up.
I will, Commissioner, and we'll catch the culprit.
You bet we will.
Listen, why are you up here?
I'm gonna check a window for fingerprints.
From the outside?
Someone might have removed the window, fired the shots, then replaced it.
It's brilliant.
Why, thank you. And now, if you'll excuse us.
Yeah, sure, Commissioner. I'll stay here and I'll keep an eye out for you.
You know, Commissioner, I was a window washer's apprentice once.
Oh, yeah? What's the matter? I thought you said you were a window washer's apprentice once.
Just once, sir. I can't stand the height.
Well, if it makes you dizzy, don't look down.
Yes, sir.
You ready? Ready. Why are you stopped? Here, let me do it. Are you ready?
Commissioner? Yes? There's an open suitcase out in the bed there.
So what?
Well, I feel like a voyeur, sir. I mean... What if someone were to come into the room, sir, and see us out here?
Concentrate on the window and forget what's inside.
Yes, sir.
Give me the gun.
I'm praying, sir.
Give me the gun. Never mind praying.
Commissioner, I have never prayed so hard for anything in my life.
You should reaffirm your faith. Your prayers were answered.
Not exactly, sir.
What did you pray for?
Wings.
Commissioner, are you all right?
More or less.
Hey, I feel awful about what happened.
He feels awful.
Hi, what happened?
Well, someone slugged me in the back of the head, and when I came to, I looked over the edge, and I saw the scaffolding all over the courtyard.
Are you guys all right?
We're fine. I don't suppose you got a good look at the guy who slugged you or anything.
No, I didn't see him. I was looking over the edge at you and at you, and suddenly I was out cold.
Well, then it was no accident, sir. We are stepping on a few toes with our little investigation.
Unfortunately, the toes are stepping back.
Mac, were you able to find anything up on the window?
Well, if there was anything, it's destroyed now. We had to break the window to get back into the building.
This hotel is jinxed. People are murdered, attempted killings, dogs dying. I'm telling you, we've got to get out of this place.
Dying? What does that got to do with it?
I was just down in the coffee shop, and the cook was telling me that his dog died of gopher poisoning the same day that Tom Ryan was murdered. Now, isn't that sad?
Sally, Enright and I were almost killed a few minutes ago. That's sad. Let's go.
What kind of a dog was it?
I think I would like to have a drink.
Mildred! Mildred!
Going to the movies.
Oh, are there any phone messages?
Oh, no, let's see.
I'll get your drink.
This is the McMillan domicile. Mildred speaking. No one is home at the present time. If you want to leave a message, please wait for the little beep.
This is Virginia Ryan calling. I'd like to speak to the commissioner at his earliest convenience, please. I can be reached at 555-3124. This is Virginia Ryan calling. I'd like to speak to the... Hello?
Mrs. Ryan, this is Commissioner McMillan.
Commissioner, thank you for returning my call. I just thought that you should know my husband's had another stroke.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mrs. Ryan. How is he?
Well, they've taken him to the hospital, and he's resting comfortably, but at this point, they don't know how serious the damage is or if... Commissioner, I was just thinking that if I could bring him some kind of positive news about your investigation, I think it would help.
Well, I don't want to get your hopes up too high, Mrs. Ryan, but I think we're getting close.
Oh, that is good news.
Mrs. Ryan, I know this isn't the time, but I'd like to ask you a question, if I may. On the night of the murder, when you called the hotel to talk to your stepson, who answered the telephone?
I don't know. I suppose it was one of the guards.
Can you remember how you introduced yourself?
I think I said, hello, this is Virginia Ryan. Or I might have said Mrs. Ryan. And then I asked the guard if he would relay a message to Tom Ryan.
You're sure that's how you said it? A message to Tom Ryan?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right. We'll keep in close touch, Mrs. Ryan. And when you see Tom Sr., give him our love.
Yes, I will. And, Commissioner, thank you for everything. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Ryan.
What was that all about? What happened to Tom Sr.?
He had another stroke.
Oh, God.
You know what's funny?
What's funny?
When I talked to the guard who was on the desk the night of Tom's murder, he said a call came in from Tom's stepmother.
What's so funny about that?
How did he know Virginia Ryan was Tom's stepmother? She never said what her relationship was.
Well, I remember taking the jurors' dinner orders and then phoning it down to the kitchen. And when the dinners came up, I distributed them while Mike kept watching the corner.
Then what?
Well, then after dinner, we collected the trays and sent them back down to the kitchen. And then most of the jurors turned in for the night.
And then you spent some time in Miss Jerome's room.
Well, yes, sir. But only half an hour. She's a writer, and she wanted to interview me in depth.
And after your in-depth interview, what did you do?
Well, then I relieved Mike at the desk, and about 10:30, a call came in from Mr. Ryan's stepmother. And I took the message
You did
down.
it again.
I did what, sir?
How did you know she was Tom Ryan's stepmother?
You see, Jerry, we listened again to the tape of that call, And nowhere on it does Mrs. Rhine refer to herself as anything but Mrs. Rhine.
If you were going to assume she was anything at all, why not his wife? Or his real mother? Why his stepmother?
Well, as you know, Commissioner, during a long trial, the jurors are kept pretty much from any outside contact. And they tend to get pretty chummy with each other and with the guards, just to keep from going bananas. So since we are the only ones they're allowed to talk to, you get to know them pretty well sometimes.
As, say, with Miss Jerome.
Well, you know, sir, the fact is that Tom Rhine was a good guy. And we just sort of struck up a friendship, that's all. I knew all about him and vice versa.
Okay, Jerry, you can go. Thanks for coming in.
You bet.
Well, sir?
Put a tail on him.
Yes, sir. Anything else?
Mm-hmm. I want Tom Rhine's body exhumed.
What for?
So the coroner can do an autopsy.
But he's already done one.
Well, he's going to do another one and keep on doing it until he gets it right.
Another touchdown. This has been a very lopsided game.
Unfortunately, the miners are on the wrong side of the lop.
I'm going down to the locker room and shake a few of those clods up.
Andy, wait 15 or 20 minutes.
Why?
So you won't say something that I'll have to apologize for tomorrow.
All right. All right. Commissioner, I won't be too long. Why don't you and Sally wait for me and we'll go out for dinner together?
Fine. On us.
Thank you. Buddy, entertain my guests for a while.
What a disaster.
Well, every team has an off game.
We're having an off season. Dead last in the standings and no relief inside.
Well, there's a silver lining. The team with the worst won-lost record gets the first draft pick.
That's true. With some of the best college prospects in years graduating, we have a shot at picking up some terrific talent next year.
There you go.
Are you going to go for a running back to replace Luke?
No, he'll be back next season. And I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
How can you be so sure he'll be back?
Because I have to believe the case against him is too weak. Now, the way I read it, there's at least a reasonable doubt. And that's all it takes for acquittal.
He said he was going to sign with another team.
Well, I suppose I don't have to keep secret the fact that Luke has signed a long-term pact with our team. Well, I think that next year, with all of our troubles behind us, we could go all the way.
Isn't his change of heart a little sudden? I mean, he went on record as...
Everybody stand here. Louis! Louis!
You took a shot at me up there. Why?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why are you running?
Well, as I came out of the locker room, I heard the shot. And when I heard your footsteps behind me, I didn't know whether you were the cop, a sniper, or what. And if you were the sniper, I was afraid of getting killed. Look, it's just my gear. You gotta believe me. I know I came on pretty strong with you the other day, but I was just scared, that's all.
Scared of what?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm fighting for my life on this team. I don't need any trouble with the law.
You're still in trouble with the law. You're not off the hook yet for those 2 murders.
Oh, come on. We've been through this routine already.
But I didn't know that Luke re-signed with the team. Now, where does that leave you?
Resigned? I don't know what you're talking about.
He signed a new long-term contract.
Well, I didn't know that. When I told you that I thought Luke was quitting the team, I was telling you the God's honest truth.
Commissioner, Mrs. McMillan told me what happened. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
But can I go?
Yeah, but remember, I want to talk to you later. What's up?
It's Jerry the cop, sir, the one we had the tail on.
Yeah.
Well, he disappeared sometime mid-morning. No one's seen him since.
Well, maybe I found him, or he found me. Maybe he took that shot at me. Let's see if we can find him before he tries again.
Well, Commissioner, when you're right, you're right. We blew it with this one.
Nobody's perfect, Sam.
I am, Commissioner. Usually.
Usually perfect? It's like saying slightly pregnant. What did you find?
Well, as you suspected, this guy was poisoned. We didn't find it.
You didn't find it because you didn't look for it.
A man has got 2 bullet holes in his back. It doesn't occur to us to look for poison. How many times do you need to kill a guy?
What kind of poison?
Of all things, Amanita muscaria.
I flunked Latin in high school.
Oh, so did I. It's poison mushroom. Extremely toxic, even in minute amounts. Always fatal.
Slow or fast acting?
Oh, slow. He could have ingested it and gone to bed and died in his sleep. See, this particular poison, it's practically undetectable unless you run very specific tests on it. And as I said, you know, with the 2 bullet wounds in his back...
His dinner was poisoned.
Must have been. How'd you tumble to it?
Scientific deduction, Sam. My wife was talking to a short-order cook in the hotel whose dog was poisoned the same night he was.
You think the killer was the cook?
No, I figured he fed his dog food scraps from the hotel every night, and the poison that killed the dog was probably the poison that killed Tom Ryan.
Excuse me. Yeah. Just a minute. Commissioner, for you.
Thank you. Hello? Yeah, Charlie. He what? Oh, terrific. All right, I'm on my way.
Anyway, Commissioner, if you find the guy who served Tom Ryan his dinner, you found yourself the killer.
Not necessarily. The guy that served Tom Ryan his dinner is in County General. They found him an hour ago in his apartment, shot 3 times in the chest.
Is he gonna pull through?
Chances are dim to none.
Well, I hope he makes it.
Boy, so do I.
Because I am so loaded with bodies now, I can't see straight.
What's the word?
Well, sir, he's alive, but barely. I've got a guard posted.
All right, issue a release to the press in my name saying that we believe we found the man who killed Tom Ryan and that he's been operated on for the removal of several bullets. He's expected to live and provide us with a full statement.
Well, what happens when he doesn't?
Well, by that time, I believe I'll have my man. Get a search warrant for this address and then pick me up at Burton Roner's yacht in the marina.
Yes, sir. Who's Burton Roner?
One of the board of directors.
Andrew Brill is hanging on to the presidency of the miners by his fingernails.
According to him, your board of directors hasn't been able to get rid of him.
True. He got us all going at each other's throats. Before you knew it, any unity there was went down the drain.
And now?
Well, there'd been tremendous sentiment on the board to get him out. And when Luke announced his decision to quit, that really nailed it down. If Luke had been acquitted, Brill would have been out on his own can, since the contract Luke finally signed was conditional on Brill's removal. Of course, now that Luke's future is very much in doubt again, the boards are beginning to waffle.
In other words, if Luke goes back with the team, Brill is through.
Basically, that's it.
Aber jetzt ist niemand zu Hause.
Do you speak English?
Nein, sprechen Sie Deutsch? No zu Hause.
Entschuldigen Sie mir bitte die Störung, meine Dame. Kann ich die Haussuchungsbefehles haben? May I have the search warrant, sir? Aufgrund dieses Haussuchungsbefehles dürfen wir dieses Haus durchsuchen.
In Ordnung, wenn Sie müssen.
Danke.
Bitte.
You two check the front room. Why don't you check in there? I didn't know you spoke German.
Oh, I can manage in 4 or 5 languages, sir. It's a knack I have.
You're a man of hidden talents.
Thank you, sir.
Bitte schön.
Danke schön.
Bitte?
Danke.
And right. And, oh, what'd you find, sir? You could open that.
Oh, it's a piece of cake, sir. Stand back.
That is amazing. I didn't know you could do that sort of thing.
Well, sir, I have a checkered past.
In 4 or 5 languages. Stand back.
Actually, I used to work for a private detective agency before I joined the force. It's amazing what you can pick up when you work for one of those outfits. What have you found, sir?
Well, the gun that killed Mo Draper.
The housekeeper said that her boss is out at the football stadium.
Let's go.
All right, tomorrow, remember practice at 10 o'clock, just shorts and helmets, all right? Take it on in, let's go.
Carter! Over here, please. I like the way you've been working, Carter.
Hey, what's going on?
Gonna make an arrest, Lewis.
Oh, come on now.
It's not you.
Who is it then?
It was a hell of a good scheme, Stone. You almost got away with it.
Got away with what?
The killing of Mo Draper.
Commissioner, if this is some kind of a joke, it's not very funny.
It's no joke. Luke told you he was quitting the team. There's no way he'd return for another season, so you killed Mo Draper and framed Luke for it.
Now, why would I want to frame my star player?
So you could go to the board of directors and tell them you'd deliver Luke on a long-term contract only if they'd oust Andrew Brill and replace him with you.
Buddy, what is this? I don't know, Andy. It's absurd.
And the board agreed, didn't they? Then you went to your old friend Leon Silver and got him to represent Luke. Then you told Luke you'd absorb the fees only if he'd re-sign with the team.
This is total and irresponsible speculation on your part, Commissioner. You'll never be able to prove any of it.
I'm afraid I can. I made a complete search of your house. I'm sure you'll find this warrant in good order. I found a .22 caliber pistol in your wall safe, registered under the name of Luke Johnson.
You ingrate. You tried to destroy me!
Calm yourself.
What did you expect, Andy? I only did what you would have done under the same circumstances.
All right? I killed Mo Draper.
And that juror as well, no doubt.
Are you kidding? Why would I? I had Luke's contract signed, sealed, and delivered. I had your job in my pocket. I wanted Luke acquitted. No, if you're looking for that killer, Commissioner, Andrew Brill here is as good a candidate as any.
Get him out of here, Commissioner. He makes my stomach turn.
Yeah, you and your mistrial would keep Luke's future in doubt. So with him gone, you could probably hang on to your job,
I can account for every moment of my time the night he was killed. You want to arrest me, be my guest. But you damn well better have a case.
Take Stone in and book him.
Mac, how did Buddy Stone ever get Mo Draper to lie about having an affair with Luke Johnson's wife?
Easy. Probably offered him money or a lucrative no-cut contract.
How? Then when Luke threatened Mo, Stone killed him.
With Luke's gun, which he probably stole from Luke's house somewhere along the line.
Yeah, but if Luke was found guilty, then Stone's whole plan went right down the drain, right?
The case against him was circumstantial, with no murder weapon as evidence. And all a lawyer of Silver's caliber had to do was establish reasonable doubt in the jury's mind.
Which he did with the exception of Tom Ryan.
And Stone would come out of this whole thing a hero. He provides Luke with the best lawyer in the business and guarantees his services to the team for 5 years.
Commissioner, how did you know that Stone kept the gun?
Well, why get rid of it? If he ditched it, it might show up somewhere along the line, and that would convict Luke. And that's the last thing Stone would want.
Well, it's nice to know Luke's off the hook. But if that guard Jerry dies before talking, well, then you're not any closer to solving Tom's murder than you were before, right?
I still say you're both forgetting Andrew Brill.
Well, he had a motive, but he also had an ironclad alibi.
Well, now, if he hired Jerry to do the thing for him, an alibi doesn't have any meaning.
Tell that to the judge.
So, Tom was killed because 11 people voted innocent and 1 person voted guilty. But how could Jerry have ever known that Tom was the only one to vote guilty?
10 voted innocent and 1 guilty.
What?
What did you say?
Well, I never did make up my mind about how I was going to vote, and then they started arguing with Tom, and they never got around to me.
Mildred, how would you have voted?
Oh, Mrs. McMillan, that's between me and my conscience.
Mildred, you're sensational.
Yeah, I know. I was always good with machines.
No, I'm not talking about the dishwasher. You just told me who killed Tom Ryan.
I told you who killed Tom Ryan.
You told me who killed Tom Ryan.
Mildred!
Commissioner, what a nice surprise.
May I come in, Mrs. Ryan?
Oh, please, of course. Oh, I hope you got some good news for me. Got to go to the hospital soon to see Thomas, and I just know that it would cheer him up if I could tell him, well, that you've broken the case.
I have.
Really? That's wonderful. Who killed my stepson?
Jerry, one of the guards, by poison.
Frightening. Please, won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Do you know why he did it?
No, I don't know why. Maybe money, maybe it was a lot of things. But I do know who put him up to it, Mrs. Ryan. You.
Why on earth would I kill my own stepson?
Money.
Oh, Commissioner. I signed a premarital agreement with Thomas before we were married. If he dies, I get nothing.
You do if there's no one left to inherit the money. Kill Tom Jr., you win by default. You know that killing him during the jury's deliberations would immediately throw suspicion on those involved in the trial, especially when you arranged to have my housekeeper attacked first.
I have never heard anything so bizarre. Now, you know that I was at home the night Tom was killed. You even got a phone call on tape to prove it.
Jerry was quite a ladies' man. It wasn't too difficult to seduce him, was it? What did you promise him? Was it money? Marriage?
You can't prove any of that.
You know I wouldn't have come if I didn't have proof. Jerry told me the whole story.
He couldn't have.
Would you like to come to the hospital with me and see? You're very good at using people, Mrs. Ryan, getting them to do what you want. But you made one mistake. When you tried to kill Jerry, you blew it.
Commissioner, you know what I wish? I wish that you had stayed out of it.
Is that the gun you used when you tried to kill him?
It's the gun I'm going to use to kill you.
Be my guest. But you won't get 10 feet away. You know the police are already on their way. It's over, Mrs. Ryan. And besides, I don't think you've got another murder left in you.
How did you figure it out?
That first phone call, it wasn't just that Jerry knew you were Tom's stepmother. He had an explanation for that. You told Jerry over the phone that Tom Sr. was gravely ill, and you wanted to let Tom know. Jerry said he'd tell him right away. But you said you wanted to talk to Tom, and that always bothered me. Because you both hung up after the message. And I kept asking myself why. Unless you both knew he was already dead. Sergeant Enright, send a unit over to the Ryan residence.
You know, Mac, the thing that I can't figure out is how the actual murder itself was committed.
Figuring that out was the easy part. Once I found out the cause of death was poison. Jerry sprinkled the poisoned mushrooms over Tom's dinner just before giving it to him, knowing that Tom would be dead in 2 hours at the most. After Virginia's call came in, Jerry broke down Tom's door.
He's been shot.
Then told Mike to call the police. Then Jerry put a silencer on the gun, fired 2 shots into the body, re-hid the gun and exited the room. By the time the police came and examined the body, they had no reason to doubt Mike, who, on Jerry's orders, had called to report a shooting.
My goodness. You know, it's amazing that a woman as clever and cool as Virginia would confess to a murder, where if she had only kept quiet, she would have found out that Jerry died before he ever regained consciousness.
It's my honest face. Women always believe what I tell them.
Oh, is that it? Oh, well, I'm gonna remember that the next time that you tell me you're working with the mayor until midnight.
I did.
Yeah, hello. Oh, hi, Mr. Mordanti.
Not home, not home.
Oh, I'm sorry, the commissioner is not home, not home. Oh, thank you, Nina. Yeah.
Nina?
Well, as a matter of fact, they're all tough. But, when you've been at it as long as we have, you sort of develop an instinct for the truth. Dinner? Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. Thank you.
Video 1 ngày 2 tháng 7 2024 binh chia lình Let's go boy. Ô không, cái gì hiện ở trên màn hình của tôi vậy? Nó sẽ quay tiếp cái trò lò lò là màu. Từ anh chỉ cho nó thẳng bên cộng 10%. Good landing. Hạ cánh tốt. Chỉnh tiếp. Đây á. Đúng không ạ? Chuẩn không? À, không, từ từ. Bên 15 lap rồi á. Sẽ muốn bút này. Vào Discord á. Được, ngày tiếp rồi. Anh cày xem đến bao giờ được 80 củ cái đầu ngoài. Thì anh vào anh quanh 10 lần. Vào 50 củ 10 lần. Cái cày vòng này sao tận 50 củ và thua. Nó quay được, nó có đủ tiền quay vòng này. Cú chết rồi. Bên chia lên, bên chia lý. Chuẩn không thầy? Kathleen thông đạo Diốt à? Rồi sao phải hạ cánh rồi? Bình. thầy cho xoay tròn nhé. Đây là đây. Perfect. À, shit. 10 lap này. Perfect không? Perfect. Đây, perfect. Bình. Gì vậy? Đây à? Không ai ơi, không phải đâu, cơ sở đấy là trụ sở chính, quan chủ để sống nhiều công ty quan chủ lại với Hà Đông cho nóng đang nóng này là gì lãng du bộ khởi đầu vấn thiên cung khởi đầu bố ngon rồi nhau ngon rồi anh ngon mày thì anh ngon thần dân linh mệnh đi và vẽ biết đâu hiểu được mà nó cũng chuẩn chỉ chứ. Cái khổng lồ chỉ lấy một cái đéo này nhét lên cái khổng lồ vậy sao Vinh trên lên không nhặt trước lần nữa. Hello guys, tao chắc chị chinh choang chưa với thằng Trung Quốc online này. Đây có thằng điên xin ở Pripyat, mình có thích Pripyat không? Có thằng con lợn 34 tỷ nhỉ, bay đến 80 triệu 80 đồng yes bay rồi nguyên nhà đéo giờ đánh nguyên nhà vào không trên một con chữ đét kia phải đét thì mấy con này ở dưới mình sẽ quay một cười nó chịu mà tắc kè này nhìn như con nhái bên chia lên không đúng vậy nghe ngồi nghe ai đánh bộ khởi đầu đúng không vậy cộng một tướng à không ai đánh bộ khởi đầu cũng thầy à thôi thầy xin phép vậy còn tiền 3 sao tiếp 3 để check bài á không có thằng đánh á này có oan thì sao không phải đánh thần rừng à chữ đâu hiệu này đánh thằng sút cho
ও তুমি
ডরাইছেন
ডরাবো কেন মাগের এরকম আটকা মায়া মনের সামনে চলে আসলে তো একটু চিন্তা লাগেই আর কালকে আবার তোমার মামার সাথে চ্যালেঞ্জ বইলা আইসো শেষবার মতো চুলদারি আশ্রয় আসতে
শুনেন কালকের খেলায় আপনি হারবেন
বাবা কনফিডেন্স দেখছো মেয়ে
যদি না হারছেন তাহলে কিন্তু বললাম এটা দিয়ে আমি আমার হাতে আপনার নাম লিখুন মানে তো তখনই বুঝবেন যখন এটার দায় আপনার উপর পড়ব সরেন
আরে ভাই নাম লিখবা মানে কি মুসিবতে বললাম জিততে না পারে এখন 2 নাম্বারই।
কি করছিস? এটা কি করলি তুই মামা বলতো? শেষ পর্যন্ত ওই হাবলু মামার কাছে।
সরি বলছি তো, মিস্টেক হয়েছে। আর এটা খেলা না, খেলাতে হার জিত থাকি।
এই কথা তুই বলতেছিস? 3 বারের চ্যাম্পিয়ন নিলয় বলতেছে এই কথা, শেষ পর্যন্ত খেলায় হার জিত থাকেই।
হ্যাঁ বলতেছি, এবার হয় না আগামীবার হইব। আর শোন, আমাদের না বয়স বেশি হয়ে গেছে, ঠিক আছে? এখন এটা জুনিয়রদের করা কাম, আমরা অনেক সিনিয়র হয়ে গেছি।
এই দাঁড়া দাঁড়া, জুনিয়র? হ্যাঁ, কোন অ্যাঙ্গেল ওই হাবলু মামার তোর জুনিয়র মনে হইলো কত দেখি? এই কথা শোনার পরে ওই হাবলু মামা সানফ্লাওয়ার তেল মাইরা ঠিক ঠিক করে হাসবো। তুই এমন একটা কাজ করছিস মামা, এলাকায় মুখ দেখানোর মতো অবস্থা থাকতো না।
টাকা দিতেছি, একটা কাজ কর, বোরকা কিনা পিন্দা ঘুরতে থাক, ঠিক আছে? এলাকায় মুখ দেখাই তুই না।
দাঁড়া দাঁড়া দাঁড়া, আমার মনে হইতেছে কেউ তোর তাবিজ করছে। তুই কখনো তো এই কথা বলার ছেলে না, কি হয়েছে কত?
কোনো তাবিজ টাবিজ কিছু না। আর শোন, আনোয়ারের রহিম বাবুর ছেড়ে আনতে পাঠাইছিলাম, কই হয়?
ভাই আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাই।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। আনোয়ার কই?
ভাই পাড়ায় কই জানি গেল গা ভাই? কামটা কি হলো ভাই? কালকে গেমটা এটা গেলেন?
দাওয়া হইছে, কাজের কথা আসি। লাইলির পার্টিতে কাচ্চি করে দিব।
না ভাই পারুম না, মাফ করে দেন ভাই। আপনার লেগে আমার জানা আছে, রুমাইয়ের লেগে আমি ভাই কাচ্চি বাচ্চি রাখতে পারবো না ভাই।
কি কই? রহিম ভাই মাথা ঠান্ডা, মাথা ঠান্ডা। তোমাদের ছাড়া হইব না তো বিষয়টা। এমন কাচ্চি খাওয়াই ফিরবো, মনে করো 7 দিন যাতে কেউ বাথরুম থেকে বাইর না হইতে পারে। বুঝছো না বিষয়টা? পারো না? যাও এবার রেডি করে গিয়া, যাও তাড়াতাড়ি।
একটু বড় খবর হইব।
তোমরা আমগুলোকে বইতা।
আরে আমরা তো খাবোই, আগে আপ্যায়নটা করে নেই। পুরান ঢাকার ট্রেডিশন তো আপ্যায়ন করা, কি মামা?
এই তো দুষ্ট লাইনে আইছো, এরকম লাইনে থাকলে তো কোনো সমস্যা হইতো না। খুব তো কইছিল খেলার কথা, এখন বুঝছো খেলা কি?
এখন একদম ক্লিয়ার মামা। আপনার একটু কাছে দিই। আলু দেই, আলু আলু।
না না আলু না, গোস্ত দাও, গোস্ত দাও।
এই যে গোস্ত দেই।
অনেক মজা হয়েছে। এই লাইলি দাও, লাইলি দাও।
আলু
ল ল ল ল লাইলি ল। তুমি লইবানি?
খাইতাম, মজা তো।
তুমি একটু খাও।
সবাই আমগুলোকে খাইতাম।
আরে খাবো তো, খাবার তো আছে।
আমগুলোকে খাও।
আরে মামা খান তো। আছে, কিছু লাগলে বললেন কিন্তু।
মজা হয়েছে।
আসলে
না, তুলো গোস্ত ল।
এইবার লইয়া কয়বার হইছে?
দুলা ভাই 5 বার।
তোমারে এত করে কইছি যে একটু কম কম খাও, মাগনা খাওন পাইলে হুদাই হাম করে খাও।
দুলা ভাই আমি তো মাগনা খাওন খাই নাই, আমরা তো বাজেতে জিতছি, আর আমি তো পরিমাণ মতোই খাইছি। বিশ্বাস করেন দুলা ভাই, আমি নিশ্চিত ওরা খাওয়ানোর মধ্যে কিছু মিশাইছে। লাইলিও তো পরিমাণ মতো খাইছে, ওরা তো পেট নামছে শুনছি।
হ্যাঁ, মানুষের খায় কাম নাই, তোমার খাওয়ানোর লোকে কিছু মিলাইছে।
ভাই আপনি জানেন না, ওরা অনেক ডেঞ্জারাস, অনেক ডেঞ্জারাস দুলা ভাই। ওরা প্রত্যেকটা ধরে ধরে ফাঁসি দেওয়া উচিত দুলা ভাই। আমি খালি একটু সোজা হয়ে দাঁড়াইলি, তারপর দেখেন আমি রাজপথে নামবো, রাজপথে নামবো, আমি আন্দোলন করবো অগো ফাঁসির লিগা।
যাও যাও, তুমি তোমার কামে যাও, আমি তোমার লেগে কেড়ে বয়ে থাকো।
আপনি একটু বসেন ভাই।
আব্বা আম্মায় যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও, আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না? তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই?
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। এই, আসো। এই, কি তোরা সকালবেলা এরকম কাঁদতেছিস কেন? আব্বাও কাঁদতেছে, আম্মাও কাঁদতেছে। কিছু আম্মা কি সকালবেলা কি সিরিয়াল দেখা শুরু করছে? তাহলে কিছু চুরি হয়েছে বাসা? কেউ মারা গেছে? কেউ কি মরার আগে হসপিটালে অ্যাডমিট হয়েছে? তাহলে কি হয়েছে? সবাই এরকম আয়োজন করে কাঁদতেছে কেন?
বাবা মা বলতেছে আমার নাকি পড়াশোনার দরকার নাই, ধান থাকলে নাকি ধানের মাঝে চিটাও থাকে, আমি নাকি চিটা।
হ্যাঁ, তোর তো ঠিকই বলছে। আর তুই কখনো দেখছো আব্বা আম্মা পোলাপানের সাথে মিথ্যা কথা বলে?
ভাই কি ওই কথা কইছে? কইছে আমার 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়ে করা লাগবে, বিয়ে করে 9 মাসের মধ্যে বাচ্চা পয়দা দেওয়া লাগবে।
মাত্র 9 মাস টাইম দিছে? তুই তো নির্ঘাত ফেল করবি। মানে তোর যে পড়াশোনার কন্ডিশন, তুই 9 মাসের সাথে তোর আরো মিনিমাম 4 মাস টাইম দেওয়া লাগবে, তারপর যদি 12। আচ্ছা, দোকানদাররা অবশ্য নতুন যারা বিয়ে করে তাকে চেয়ার দিকে তাকায় থাকে 2 পয়সা ইনকামের জন্য, তোর দিয়ে এটাও হবে না। তুই চিন্তা বাদ। হ্যাঁ বল।
তুইও?
কি?
আমি আগে সন্দেহ করছিলাম তুই আমার মায়ের পেটের ভাই না। মায়ের পেটের ভাই হলে তুই এরকম করে কথা বলতে পারতি না। তোর আমার না কোনো মিল নাই, না আছে স্বভাবের মিল, না আছে চরিত্রের মিল, না আছে তোর নিজের চেহারার মিল, গায়ের কালারের মিল, কোনো কিছু মিল নাই। বাইকটা
শোন, আব্বা আম্মায় যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও, আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না? আমি তোমার জীবনের বাধা। তোরা কেউ আমার ভালো চাস না, তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। শোন, আমি তোর ছোট হিসেবে চাই তুই আব্বা আম্মার কথাটা শোন, তুই 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়েটা কর, আমি কবজি ডুবায়া তোর বিয়ের কাচ্চি খাবো, বুঝছস? এই, আসো।
Để xem cái này nó của nàng. Thừa thì bắt 2 lần nhưng mà Qua đây kiếm tiền để vớt nha. Mà sao chúng nó cứ chơi ở đây? Kiếm tiền để vớt ở đây ạ. Ra chúng nó cứ bày ở đây thì anh cũng bày ở đây rồi. Những con đi vớt. Rồi ra khỏi xe. Khi rét ra cái rét thờ rét luôn. Chuẩn form vậy thầy ơi. Sojin này. Sojin của năng này. Kiếm đồ cho Asia rồi. Có quan trọng xin ra đâu. Sắp đủ đồ. Bình chia linh. Đầu ra quan oan giỏi mà cho hiệu thần dừng thực sự là hợp lý đấy thầy. Bao là hợp lý. Luận đầu này để tài chính. Tắc kè phải thần dừng cũng vậy, tắc kè loài mắt. Lắc đi à? Lắc đi là sao? À, đẹp đấy nhỉ, đẹp đấy. Là đẹp. Không sao đâu bạn ơi. Không sao. Ngồi đầu. Mình không biết. Phải nhanh vay nhất, vay nhất mà vay tỷ láp, phải không vậy? Ta tính chưa? Biết chưa? Biết rồi. Biết rồi, xin rồi, phải vay trên đỉnh một lúc cũng xuống. Cũng muốn, wow. Có phần nữa, theo hết 38. Ui, eo cái thua mà, thua được mà, cái này thua được mà, chôn không? Quà sinh nhật là cái quý nhỉ? Thua được mà mình thua này mà may xăm này vậy. Ok đấy, đây và để đã tự di chuyển, là thầy di chuyển, là thầy chỉnh hai bên là xong. Đinh không vậy? Đinh không vậy? Đinh không thầy ơi, Đinh không thầy ơi, Đinh không thầy ơi, Đinh không thầy ơi, Đinh. Ai á? Chôn tao. M là nó 50M. Nhanh như tao. Từ từ rồi. Mắc thêm 7 Ghét. Chuẩn không nhỉ? Vay sự ghét đấy. Đấy là biệt. Vậy gì hay à, mảnh rất nhiều mảnh nha, rất nhiều mảnh cung luôn mà. Thôi xin cái mảnh lấy đồ cho oan vậy, thêm cái giáp máu nữa, kiếp cái mấy cái mảnh cũng hết sạch mà. Nếu mày còn lại thầy lái mình thắng, nghe cái trường mày thắng, mày 10% nữa, mày ngã mày ô không được. Đùa tao. Xuân không? Xuân 7 bánh ơi. Nếu được rồi. Chọn dấu vậy. À không được rồi. Đây lại lệch cái này. 10 này. Đó. Nếu được tiếp à? 3 củ 59 là xem được bao nhiêu nhá. 4 3%, 4 và 66 cũng được. Át này. Sẽ át từ này rồi. Ê, chơi xong rồi, đánh trùng bài rồi, thằng này ấn tử thần ạ. Không sao thầy ơi, mình dồn trước là được. Át sử thanh hóa. Bây giờ nói bàn. Xong rồi, xoay bài tự động. Đấy mới làm. Chuẩn chỉ đấy, chuẩn chỉ mà xoay bài tự động. Go. Bình chi linh vậy thầy ơi. Nhót không? Nhót, đét. Cho tao. Ngáo vậy. Vẫn đang may, anh vẫn đang nhảy. Thắng mà. Let me show you darkness. Sai rồi. Sai đều. Thầy lái vô á, sao? Captain Vietnamese. Captain Việt Nam. Máy. Capture. Chuẩn không vậy bạn ơi? Chuẩn. 2 lần này. 2 lần. Đó, không 3 lần. Lại nữa ta thể bình tĩnh. 3 lần này. 3 lần 1 lần là 4 này. 5 lần này. 5 lần. 6 lần. 6 lần. 6 lần. Được 6 lần. 5 lần. Rồi 5. Chuẩn thế. Ngon. Còn một cái cung xanh nữa. Đây đi. Bài còn gì nhỉ? Có bài yêu đét. Long Vương à? Yêu đét xong còn nhiều món đấy. Xuân vậy, thầy chưa chạm đất 49 rồi, xong lần này là quay một vòng rồi. Mình tại không may mắn rồi nên là đến từ bao nhiêu quay được người thôi. Phải có may mắn cơ mới thích lâu. Vậy phải phết đùa. Không có Guardian Carry mà vẫn hold Guardian à? Thực sự là cầu nguyện không vậy? Thực sự là cầu nguyện ra Guardian không? Cái thằng lái xe này. Đấy, xe bay rồi. Xe bay nhưng mà vẫn cần bánh. Sự nhót không? Nhót đó. Mày nhót không? Ui Galio rồi. What the hell? Ui nó ở kia. Thì không có tầm. Chơi Galio rồi. Để Galio ngoài. Chưa cần lắm. Cũng xịn đấy. Nhưng mà thiếu xe lát. Nhận được xe lát nữa là xong. Perfect tiếp à? Thêm nữa không? One more. Ê, 135 xuống 126 rồi. No reset. One more này. One more. One ai không được. One more. Không one more à? Quả đấy. Ê, được rồi. One more. Two more. One more, two more. Hãy Sibasikira. Nope. Mày bay 54 à? Thực sự là 5 củ ấy nên là 50%. Quay đều. Cái gì đấy? Không skip được quên mất. Thôi thầy về qua kia thầy bay thầy kiếm tiền Reaper. Quá mạnh. Ra một tuổi mà rồi lên qua 4, cứ chỉ qua 4 cho tôi vậy, chôn tôi à? Vẫn thắng à? Sửa bay là tỷ vong. Anh ác quỷ rồi, hóa ác quỷ rồi. Từ ngày em đi anh hóa thành ác quỷ Ride ở Car Simulator. 22 củ à? Anh sẽ bay được tầm 400 củ, 450 thì mới lên cấp tiếp theo được. Sợ bình chi linh ấy. Nhanh và nhẹn. Ui, bay nhanh đét. Tốc độ sự là vua. Tốc độ sự là vua ấy. Tốc độ sự một đẳng cấp Pro VIP. Chuẩn không vậy. Thắng được không vậy? Rồi rồi, còn mỗi quân cho gát sẽ làm chi? Còn mỗi cho gát làm chi? Cho gát 2 mũ thích nghi à? Làm chi? Ui, thổi đau phết, đùa. Ê, nó thắng được cái cút đấy. Ê, nó thổi chết Zone này. Không chết rồi, không chết rồi. Còn 2 cái mũ kia đều chết rồi. 2 mũ đấy chỉ là kích thêm sát thương phép. Xong rồi. Quả chém mới là của mình rồi. Chắn luôn. Đi chợ 100 máu bốc lửa. Đồ Zone này. Zone cái cục đấy sự xịn không? Bắn là chắn à. Đồ cổ này. 15% hút báo chủ sở đồng minh được đấy. Cái ui mất lắc rồi. Còn những cục kia, còn cục vàng. Lấy một cục vàng đi. Rồi trở lại cái này. Ha ha. Sorry. Mày bay cao. Một lần bay được tầm 40 triệu. Thằng kia ở đấy nhá. Meo meo. Cho nó thấp thế. Chi. Ủa nó vậy chồng. Thôi kìa. Kệ. Có Huy cầm cái kìa. Sự phân nhau. Từ xem cái thằng này á. Nổ không vậy? Thôi xong rồi, mày đi. Thần tài biết đép ấy, thần tài biết đép mà. Của anh gặp rồi, nó biết đép mà. Anh gặp nó lúc đầu của biết nó biết đép ấy. Nằm 4 vào. Xong được không? Chứ cũng vậy. Tí thua. Xin ra 3 không? Check. Xin ra 3 không? Tí chịu này. Ok mọi người, anh cũng định mà. Hả? Anh xin ra 3 mà. Có thấy không? Acid. Chưa kéo. Anh chậm mà. Bình tĩnh nhỉ. Chết rồi. Hả? Không kéo cái kia cho con acid để nó vẽ ra ngoài thua là. Kéo gì? Kéo đồ này á, định mình á. Sao? Bình tĩnh. Thằng này nó khỏe mà. Mình không muốn chết. Còn 2 bạn nữa. Trời, im dễ. Gặp thằng trên đầu là nó cầm tên 3. Xin ra 3 luôn. Đi. Không đâu, không anh nhận đâu. Không, giống ai chơi. Trốn đâu. Mình dừng này. Được rồi. Là giáp gái, nhưng mà giáp gái dễ bị mất lắm. Chúng con lấy giáp này. Ở đây ơi. Ai mấy review. Nhớ hiểu. Giỏi vậy. Đây em ơi. Kìa, 2 thằng kiếm một chỗ à? Không, nhưng mà thằng này cũng khỏe. Không em rồi. Ê, xét lại. Để xét làm chi ạ? 7 đinh mệnh là tao à? Thôi, thua mà. Hiểu. Không, chưa có được. Nếu có à, có ai giữ đâu. Chuẩn. Có ai không có ai giữ đâu. Ra luôn không? Ra luôn không? Ra luôn không? À. Cái này chọn cái đéo chả được. Thằng nào chả chết. Chi. Thế cho hết đồ rồi à? Vẫn để hết đồ đó không? Nam Vinh hơn à? Thôi gặp thằng này đi. Thằng này vừa mình thua. Nó làm cái gì ấy? Nó vẽ Aniba kìa. Nó vẽ Aniba này. Thằng này có vẽ Aniba mày em. Ê là thiếu một con. Nó vẽ Azit nữa kìa. Sấy. Không được rồi thầy ơi. À. Được, sao dòng mình sao tự rơi ra cái xin ra. Chịu vậy vẫn mảng. Thầy đi mua làm không có đâu. Ồ, tớ tự ra mà bảo rồi. À, đâu đấy? Chi mày. Giờ mới ping. Oan một đéo dạo cái thằng kia luôn đấy, oan rồi. Lụm. Màu xanh không? Hay cái này? Có chút dồn nữa không? Ê. Rồi xong nhiệm vụ đây. Cút thật này. Ha. Thầy khóa lại. Mày nhờn. Good landing. Chuẩn không? Chuẩn không? Chuẩn và chỉ. Binh và chi, linh và linh. Binh chi linh. Hỗ trợ để cho cút khảm bảo thạch à, khổng lồ tí hoan. What the hell? Thế đi. Cứ thế đi. Ô, what the hell? Cái gì đây? Trốn đâu? Không leo lối được. Okay. Trốn bro. Không chưa có đồ rồi. Mày xin ra mà trốn tao. Mày chấm là xin ra 51 à, còn 9 phút nữa thanh xong chạy cờ là đeo rồi. Bình. Mèo bay lên cao như con cao. Bay lên cao như con cao. Ui khỏe đấy, bài máy này khỏe điếc. Chịu rồi, tao đi Lego nhảy lên đéo em đánh. 74 máu à, xin ra rồi, sự là binh chi và linh ấy. Ô cái gì đấy? Ấn thuật sĩ à? Tam hợp là rồi Arcane. Rồi không ai tranh bài. Hay cút. Cút ngay. Rồi xong. Thờ red 2 à. Asia lắp ấn định mệnh, găng tay, găng bảo thạch với cả một cái sojin là xong rồi. Giờ thêm đồ cho Sindra này. Sinra rồi. Là thiếu đồ Sinra mới là vấn đề chứ. Đi chợ nhặt thôi, đi chợ giờ sẽ cần gì trước, giờ mình sẽ cần một cái cung hoặc là một cái mũ phù thủy ngay lập tức. À, thằng đánh bộ khởi đầu à? Cũng ghê. Mai thì thắng. Mai thắng. Sau 15 giây thì Mai thắng. 453 củ mà anh chưa đủ tiền, anh thiếu cận 250 củ nữa. 254 củ. Sữa đất và đồ đấy. Nhặt thêm chi chút năng lượng ra cho binh. Mà lên cao như con cao. Wow 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 wow. Cút rồi. Ui, Cinderella, nhưng mà lại là một cái đai máu. Rồi mất cái cung thôi, lấy Cinderella. Đây là một con Cinderella thứ hai. Thôi kệ đi, bây giờ là Pandora lõi sau. Vua rồi. Chắc thế. Còn nào đồ cho on nhở. Đéo đánh on nữa, thành thằng Red 3 đấy. Nhưng mà on nhảy đồ. Nào kẹt thôi. Quên mất. I'm sorry bro. Ra là một cái quỷ thư à? Không hiểu lắp lại một chứ vậy. 2 Cinderella. Giờ sẽ phải lên 6 đến 7 nha. Wow wow wow. Chôn không thấy. Chôn nhở. Chôn điết. Là ông à? Không ai để tranh bài. Bình. Rồi cái đánh thần rừng thần thoại vậy. Chôn tao. Thần tài à? Mấy thần tài cơ? Một thằng này, một thần mà một ấn đấy mà. Còn đánh khỏe bài chôn tao. Muốn thần tài đánh bài khỏe vậy. What the hell? Không có thăng hoa chắc cút. Chịu rồi. Biết đấy, biết đép mà. Kinh khủng ấy. Sắp với 305 mà vẫn còn tận 48 máu. Sự anh hay sự kinh khủng đép ấy. Có mấy vàng cho 5 vàng cũng đuổi. Rồi xong. Cái gì cơ? Cái gì cơ? Nhà thế lắp cái này cho thằng Red bình. Bình.